All right. Here's the big one. Here's the big one. You're not hearing man saying to man anymore, I love you.
Mm.
That has become a taboo because man can start thinking you're funny, you know what I mean? You're gay, you're like man, or something along the line, you know what I mean? They can start watching you cross-eyed. Growing up in the church days, man used to hug man. You don't see man hugging man no more. Okay? They don't see man hugging man anymore. Listen, I grew up telling my son, I love you, and I used to kiss him on his lip. My son, I used to kiss him on the lip. The man became a man. He became a man. At one time, he take me to the airport. I went, you know, he live in Arizona. He take me to the airport, and you know what he did? He come to kiss me on the lip because it's in him. But then he realized where he was, and he back away. You know, and I said, "What's up? You gonna kiss your father?" He look around. He said, "Daddy, we can't do that no more." You know,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Oh, interesting one.
It has changed. It has changed. He said, but I'm your son, so I can give you a hug. But the hug was not, man used to hug man almost in an intimate way. The hug was not an intimate hug. The hug was, you know, him put out him butt, him lean over, and then tap daddy in the back. You know what I mean? So society has changed. A lot of things have changed in that. And so you find that those things have changed society along with the gadgets, you know, until we come back to the place of where the Bible will teach us to love your brother, greet each other with a holy kiss and everything along the line. Those things are gone. I don't think they're gonna ever come back. I think they're gone. You know what I mean? And those are the things that has ruined us, has actually ruined us, because those were things that would govern us. They were governance in our life. Those things, since we put them aside and throw them away, they're no longer a governance in our life because society is now molding us. Society is now molding the church. So we have to look at that. And in the church today, I mean, we are careful because we don't know say who's real man and who is not anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I leave that right there.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you.
So let
Yeah.
me welcome, Pastor, just welcome, the
Mm,
big
mm,
man
mm,
himself, DJ
mm,
Apache Finger,
mm, mm,
to the panel.
mm.
Welcome, sir. And tonight, spin not true with us a reason.
And
Welcome.
welcome. Good night to you, first of all, to the host and to the unseen guests, and to the panel, to Reverend, to Pastor, and to the Army Sergeant, Mr. Jackson. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
Controversial.
yeah,
Man says
the Army
controversial, Jackson.
specialty. You know, he's the Army specialty, you know.
All right. So
Well,
before you come on, we asked a question. So I will
mhm.
allow you to answer. It was in your own words, define who is a man.
A man. How we define a man now? It's spelled M-A-N, not true.
Mm-hmm.
So M mean miracle. No,
All right.
a man now, to me, when I was growing up back home, and I remember my father used to take me places with him. You guys are hearing me, right? Loud and clear?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right,
All right.
you're here.
And I remember, used to sit in the front seat with him, and him used to take us places, go driving and here. So that stood out a lot to me, how he was caring, as a father,
Mm-hmm.
and loving as a father. So a man now, you have to know for care, for love, and can take care of your family or take care of anything. Because I know I watch a lot of stuff where young men are to do, for the family. Sometimes there's nobody older there to do anything. But the young man had to learn the hard way to take care of him little brother and sister. But
Mm-hmm.
growing up, because I know my mom used to travel a lot and come here to Brooklyn and to Bronx a lot. So he was there with us a lot, So, but he spent time, I know, with me because we'd have a long Buick. So, and he make me all drive the Buick. Them time I didn't even have my license, you understand? But I got from him the caring part of him, the loving part, and the giving part, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, a man should be able to stand and hold him ground, to share, to love, to give, and to can comfort like Christ, you understand? We have to have all those quality in us as a man to represent as a man. Some of us don't, but as we grow and see and learn, we adapt to it. And as we read more, as get into the word more and more, we are nurture ourselves and grow and mature in it where we can show that side of us. A man can cry too, we think a man don't cry, but we can cry too. And we were just talking about something, about going to doctor. Man don't like to go doctor, and I remember I brought up something to somebody. I said, I remember when I had to do a colon thing, I didn't care what the man them want to say, but Jamaican and the whole said, nope, nobody now put me out to sleep and do nothing to me. You understand? So, but we have to get past those things. You understand? We have to, because it is for our own use and our own health, no matter what, And as a man, I'm a watch certain man, and I've been around plenty of them and see how they adapt, how them react to women and children, And sometimes I shake my head and say, no, I can't be like that. I can't do that.
Hmm.
So we have to have that side of us, that compassionate, just like how Christ, have it. We have to be compassionate too. They say their spiritual gift. People have the love and the one who care for people like that. Those are gifts from God also. Special gift. But as a man, though, we have to learn those traits no matter what. And growing up, yeah, I had two parents. A lot of households didn't have two parents, which was even harder. So as a young man, you stray, you do all kind of things, and you didn't get to develop in the right way. Instead, you develop in the wrong way, and
Yeah.
it didn't come out good. It didn't come out right.
Yeah.
So then that's where a lot of men fail or fall short, I should say, when it come to being a man. Man is not a man where go on and brag or boast about this or that. When I have our, or I want couple gold teeth up your son. No, that's not what it is. Yeah, when we
Yes,
younger,
sir.
we don't want to try them thing there. Yes, but we said no, I don't mean that. We not beg the dentist to put in too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. But as you talk about the doctor thing, I think as soon as they figure out a new way to test for prostate cancer, more men will be going to. But until then,
Well, you have a long wait.
most Jamaican won't be going to,
Yeah, we know.
to check.
It is said because I went into the restaurant and them said, we just start about and the man them in a restaurant. I said, no, sir, we ain't of that, But no,
Mm-mm.
listen, man.
Yeah. But all right, so that's good. And the next question that was asked is saying, we know that men nowadays, there's a major difference, when it comes on to men nowadays. Back, probably the 90s, the 80s, and earlier years, men were men. Those that were in the household, the lead, by example, I'm from the countryside, so I'm accustomed to seeing my grandfather going to, the ground to doing farming and in burning coal skill and for selling coal to take care of farm. He did what he had to do, the manly stuff. And we could see more of that back then, but now it's different. Our men even seem a bit more soft, more feminine than the women. To leave at some point now, most women will be saying, boy, even for those in church, 'cause worse in church, you have more women than men in church right now. And still the few that is in church, some of them still feminine, more feminine than the women. So I was asking the question, what do you think really happened between 90s, 80s, 70s, and so on, comparing to now? What really happened? Why men has made what this drastic change, in men? What do you think cause that?
Why man has changed from the church?
No, in the sense as how we behave, we are not so manly anymore. And when it comes down to we are absent in a lot of areas, absent in church, absent in leadership, absent as fathers. Yeah, what you think really happened?
Well, in the 80s and the 90s, right? A lot of things was happening where man was just could get ahead, them sell drugs and do this and, them bling out and have the fancy car and money a roll. So if money was rolling that easy way, I don't want nothing for hold me down. I don't want to 9 to 5 or I don't want to take up nothing for church when money a roll. Honestly, you understand? So the 80s and the 90s was all about it. It had nothing. Christ wasn't in it for them, Christ was just put aside completely. Because guess what? Dollars are roll, and we can do as we're free. We can do anything we do, go from places, do this, spend money like war, and we go around and we have kids all over the place, but then we weren't thinking now. I left kids all over the place. Who are father them really? They weren't be no father, so them just do want for roll by themselves and do this, some man just was just out there by themselves. Because what money in them pocket, some are good. I now have to settle down. I now have to take care of no kids. I now have to nurture my kids and put it like that. So that was one of the things I can say, money was a thing that tear man down. They thought to build them up, but it kind of tear them down and ruin them life really and ruin kids' life also, A lot of kids' life were ruined because of that. Because I remember say, in a Jamaica, money I run, music I run. And if you're the top DJ, from them time, that's how it go.
All right.
But
yeah, so we're up to date right now. Yeah, you catch up us. Yeah, we basically catch up now, Apache.
okay.
That's where we are. All right, so I heard all the answers. So
I don't think we hear from
what
Pastor. I don't think we hear from Pastor Peko yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sir Peck, we
I'm
never
gonna have
talk
to
yet.
bring
Sorry.
us to hide.
Where you are, sir? All right. Sorry, sir. I never know. Yes, Sir Peck, you.
I still have listening. Men roles. Men roles
Yeah.
in the modern world are diverse and evolving. It is evolving and it is reflecting the change in
Unknown caller.
expectation.
Yes.
Gender norm, economic structure, all of that is affecting why it is different. For one, look on the way, look on work and career. In days gone by, men was the breadwinner. And let us not forget that a lot of us were raised by our single mothers. And that is not in the 80s, not the 90s. Some of us was raised in the 60s, the 50s, because of sin, men have always, and because men have allowed their erection to become the direction, they have always go and put on sprinkler and water, all kind of lawn. And when grass can't grow and water scarce, them have to conserve. So them always on earth and a jump fence. So breadwinner, traditionally, as we would want to think, men are viewed as the primary earner in the family. While in somewhat that role is still prevalent, there's an increasing, and don't forget this acceptance and occurrence of dual income owner in household. And the woman, they might tell you, say them want for them own dirty money.
Hey.
Yeah, they want a sense of independence. And if we miss that, because our women Most women not sitting down and waiting and our gentleman to come provide the money for her. She's working for her own money and she have her own independence. Not only that, men generally were at the top of work and career, talk about career diversity. Men are entering into a broader range of profession, including those historically have dominated by women. You have men nurse now. You have men, such as nursing, teaching, and when women area grew up, very rare you see a male teacher in the classroom. Men was a principal, but most of the women were teachers, most of the people were teachers are women. The one that some of us be able to be able, but like the one that stay there. So. Auntie, work-life balance. There's a growing emphasis today where that its emphasis is on achieving that balance between work and personal life. So more men are take paternity leave and flexible working arrangement. You know what these whenever you have paternity leave? Man, I take leave and I take care of children. So you find out that because things are shifting, you find, and that now sometimes bring up on men. And I remember in my program, Sir Fitzroy, that we have two ladies that were talking about at their house. And when they married to these men, this man come home and it's like the man still thinks she should take care, she provide him house, and she have to pay the bill. Because one of the feeling is that we are not teaching, and notice I said teaching. We preach a lot in our church. We are not teaching in the church who is a man. Because we are the foundation, and if the foundation is cracked, and if the foundation built on shifting sand, then the superstructure now will stand. Men is much more than rule. We have to find our purpose. Because when you start identifying man by his role as breadwinner, that no, we are much more than that. We are the foundation. We are the king. We are the priest. We are, you understand what I mean? So when and most men don't know that. Most men don't know that he's supposed to be the foundation. And has to know that when he's going to be the foundation, we have to know what kind of soil he might build the foundation in. Because if the child is moving and shifting, you have to know what kind of foundation to establish there. So that is the reason most people in church don't understand who they really are and what their purpose really is.
All right. Nice, sir. Interesting. We are the foundation.
I think also, sorry, Brother Mac, that
go ahead.
Today is what we need to do. And we have to learn this. We have to learn to break this cycle. Now, my mom and dad grew up in a time where there wasn't taught anything about love. I never hear my mom said, I love you. I never hear my dad say, I love you. But I know they love me. I tried to pull it out of my mom until the day she died. And the closest I would get, Reverend Peko, is that back at you. And so she would not use the word love. Right? So I said I have to break the cycle. And as Pastor G was saying, I start to bring my son, I have a son, to school and make it a point of my duty to ride him to school. Because when I used to go to school and see somebody parents take them to school in a car, we used to run behind the car and hold the car and all type of thing right up to the school. So I make sure I go right up to the school with him. And then I kissed him just as Pastor G said. You know what happened after a while, Reverend Peko? My son said to leave him at the school gate. So I was confused. Everybody wants you to take you up to the school. He wants to leave. So I have a talk with him. Guess what's the problem? Him no want nobody see me and kiss him like that again. You know? So, you have to start to teach him a different way. Because now, if my mother used to kiss me or my father kissed me on my lip, I would be happy. I was begging for that type of love. But no, things change. So from a man see you, because my son is like big. And from him see, oh, are your sugar daddy that drop you off? And them and him all day in school. So he said, Dad, please leave me at the school gate.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
I think all of us, I have ventured to say all of us probably went through that because my father and mother never told me they loved me too. But then as a young boy, he was craving for that. I don't know. I think it's something God put in us. We were craving for that. So I vow within myself that my children will always hear me say I love them. You know what I mean? And because of that, you know what I mean? Even to, if I talk to my son tonight, okay, before the phone hang up, he is going to say to me, Daddy, I love you. You know what I mean? And I say, I love you. He it reversed now. He says it first because it became a part of his DNA of me saying it. And with me saying that to him, it has no problem. As you saying, you know what I mean, Brother Fitzroy, breaking the cycle. It has no problem with him loving his son as
Mm.
well. Because he grew up hearing his father say he loved him and demonstrating the love towards him. So he have no problem with that. Where that is absent in young people's life today, absent in the church. You know what I mean? Men telling that to young, you can't tell that to a young boy. You can't tell that to nobody else's child nowadays in the church. You know what I mean? They start looking at you funny. You know what I mean? They even start talking. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that has changed in society. And unfortunately, the church, as Reverend Paco is saying, it's teaching. We do too much preaching. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Too much preaching. We got to do teaching. We got to, in fact, I have changed church. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sunday morning, but whatever I preach on Sunday morning or teach, we discuss. That's our Wednesday night Bible study. We discuss the message on Wednesday night. That's what we do. The same message from Sunday morning. Let's break it down. Let's go into it. I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? What I was saying. What you guys get from this? What you guys get from that will help develop people. But we have lost all. We have lost all of that today in the church. We have lost it. Men has lost the headship. Man is not the head anymore. I think Reverend Preckles said that. Woman
Mm.
don't need man today. Listen, I saw one time. Let me share this with you guys. I was in my town in Frederickston. I was down there, and this guy was trying to pick up this girl. You know what I mean? And the girl is not paying him no attention. And he said to her, "Listen, I got something that you want. If you see the size of it, anything." You know what her response was? "I got battery at home."
Ah, you know
He
what
he
she said?
missed it. I about fell out on the ground laughing,
Mm.
and he's still trying to pick her up. And she says, "I don't need. I got battery at home. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore." I said, "Dude, are you that dumb? The girl
Yeah,
tell you, sir, she got battery at home. That means she got dildo. She don't need
yeah,
you. She got her job. Look what she
yeah.
driving. What?" When he looked at me, he said, "That's what she mean?" I said, "Boy, you dumb.
Very good.
Mm.
Very dumb. She don't want him. Women don't need us today. Okay? Listen, it has turned around. We need the women. Okay? That's the whole thing. Women don't need us today. They're making more money than us. They're living better. They
Uh,
have their own home. They have their car. They don't, in fact, they don't even want us in the church today, Derek.
So you see how it switched, right? From the 80s to 90s, we're reverse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where now the women are more in control now.
Mhm.
So it cycled back to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
what Pastor G
Mm,
said, they don't
Yeah.
need us, because them
Yeah.
can handle their own. And as
No.
Rev say, the teaching, we are lacking the teaching part of it. Because how we gonna grow, how we gonna learn or know if the teaching is not there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
yeah.
you see, the problem is, we don't understand what headship mean. We don't
Mm.
even know what headship means. Because we think the headship that we are dictator, we are bully, and we name
Yeah.
them. But if we, as it goes back to teaching, headship. When you read the Bible, you recognize that there are three aspects of headship in the Bible. Physical head, source, original, or person of authority. And so we have
Mhm.
a lot of us as husband and as men, we have a misconception that because we are head. Because
Right.
headship is more a responsibility than a right.
Yeah.
Not because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
a man, you're running. It's a responsibility of how many of us willing to take responsibility. Headship
Mm.
is authority to serve. That
Right.
is why
Yeah.
many people would have gone out and would have done anything to come back and provide for them families to ensure that them families properly taken care of. And headship is an opportunity to lead.
Right.
Yeah.
How many of us understand those things?
You see, and
Well,
that's the thing.
let me just pass a welcome to Michibu and to everybody else who came in after the greetings. Welcome to all of you. All right. I'm not able to call everybody's name, but my admin, she's greeting you all. So I acknowledge you all. Welcome to the discussion. All right, sir. So headship
I think
is more of a right.
Yeah. A
All right.
responsibility.
Interesting.
That's
All right.
right.
Yeah. Tell us some more on that. Being a right.
You know, headship is more responsibility than a right. A
Oh,
right
more
is
responsibility than a right. All right. Yeah, cool.
a right is something we tend to demand or insist upon something we are owed. You ever see someone and me at the down at the house? When me talk, no dog. This can also to have make for authoritarian. That is why we have so much dictator in the house without communicating with our spouse. And they have that self-serving atmosphere. That is why you hear them talk about husband raping their wife. When she said no, she's not supposed to say no. She should just send on. When
But a wife is so bad.
with that, when headship is viewed as a sacred trust,
Yes, sir.
husband is called by God to lead and honor and sacrifice for his wife and children, then the tone and the mood of the home will be radically improved. You're talking about somebody, even when I know we love to quote the scripture that we now become one. But even when you're married, you still maintain a sense of individuality.
Yeah.
And when the relationship is right, you don't have to fight.
Amen.
what about when that relationship is right and you have to fight?
Hey.
You need to fight because the communication will be right, the understanding will be right, and you will understand the body language, and you understand all of that. So when you reach over and sometimes when you have to be discerning. The Bible says, live with your wife according to knowledge. So even when the mouth I say yes, you must know when I say no, you must know when the body I say yes.
But you see, even in a relationship like that, it's not gonna be right all the time, because it's just like if you're walking, you say you're walking holy and everything that's going good for you, you have to check yourself. Something is wrong.
Yeah, man,
Something is wrong.
Yeah.
You can't just walk so smoothly and nothing come fall in front of you where you have to run or something. You understand? So it's same thing in the household now. It won't be that perfect, because we have to have this disagreement where we are gonna work it out through Christ, right?
But
DJ Apache,
okay, go ahead, sir.
DJ Apache, I agree with you, but here's the idea, because I think Reverend Pac will have something there that's deep and interesting, because the headship is a responsibility, is not a right. I would say it's an authority that God has given to us.
Of course, yes.
What is being fought for? What the argument is about is that the argument is for the authority above. Okay, you know what I mean? So it's if you remember the story, okay, with Moses and his sister, she said, is God only speaking through Moses alone? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? God was using her in her own right, okay, as the prophetess, you know what I mean? But she wanted the headship, she wanted that authoritative figure. She wanted that authority over Moses. When you get into the New Testament, we find Paul making an argument that he don't permit women to teach because they're the ones they actually usurp authority. If you usurp the authority over Adam, look at the state of us today because of the usurp of the authority. You know what I mean? When we stand before God ain't asking Lady G one word about her household. And me here, I'm a whole responsible. And I always say, God, that ain't fair. You're gonna hold me responsible how I shepherd your people. You're gonna hold me responsible how I raise my house and do all. Come on, man, God, give me a break, man.
You know that there's more laws in the Bible for men than for women.
Yeah.
More laws God for men than for women in the Bible. Because we have a responsibility to lead. to shepherd, not to manage.
No,
Because
not to
a
manage.
manager is different than a shepherd and a leader. A manager dictates to him want and fall all him and sit down so and say if it happen. But a leader shows how it is done.
Yes, yes. A true leader.
Yeah, a true leader.
All right, so
I see.
as we talk about that, right? Because all of that is good, but one other thing that I think you can tell me if I'm right on this. Do you think that men today, a lot of us are feeling when it comes on to being a leader, being a responsible man, being a true man, as how God designed us to be? Because maybe growing up there, we didn't have, most of them didn't really have a male figure in the home to teach them, to lead by example, to say, listen, because truth be told, especially, there are a lot of single mother homes, right? Back then and even presently. And I'm always saying, if the boy don't grow up seeing a man around him, all he sees every day is mommy. We understand that women are built more emotional, right? So a woman will lead differently. In a leadership position, the woman will lead differently because she's built to lead. She's built emotionally. The man, go differently. I'm saying that if there's two parents in the home and the baby is running and the baby trip and fall, especially it's a boy, as a father, you laugh and you look, you saying good, you say, get up, man. You're all right. Mommy different, mommy run, go, oh, go, baby, you're all right. And, so it's more. But when the man is there, the man can, so let him know that, listen, in some situation, you have to know when to be tough, when to, so it's there to lead. As I say, growing up, I see encourage me, say, back then, uncle or brother go farm, she gonna farm too. Most time if a boy in the home, that is it. Mommy, daddy I go farm, you gonna farm with daddy. Daddy have a car and daddy I work for the car, the son did you understand? So do you believe that maybe that's the problem? Where a lot of boys grew up in the home without a male figure to teach him what it is to actually be a man.
I agree with that to a certain extent and disagree because every family have other men in the family that can also become mentor to the family, and that is why we need close family unit. Now, many of us grow in single parent home, but at the same time, and you say women are emotional, and I tend to, and men are weak, and that is why we're not loving our wife, because we tend to not show no emotion. We know our hug and kiss because we have been taught that men must express their emotion. But we need to stop buying into that thing. Men are also emotional beings, and because we have been taught to suppress our emotion, there's suicide among men than women. When Jesus wept, that is showing that you can express, but you must know how to express it. Nobody's saying you have to become a limp-wristed Willie, but you must know to expect if your heart is broken, your heart is broken. Go to the bar, go drink rum, go smoke some weed. Yes, I'm a man and my heart can be but not pay tough.
Right, so to under note there, where I say yes, a man must be emotional and express. So
emotional.
I know of men who express their emotional side to their woman. And may I tell you, it not go good. Most of the boy too soft. Me don't want no soft, man. I mean, the woman left them. The man too soft. He a ball like him a girl. It do happen. No, so as a man, me can ball to mommy and mommy can hush me as a son. But imagine a lot of men, because it happens and women look down. That's saying all. Some women start to look down, and I believe that is why a lot of men do not want to show the emotional side of them to the woman. Some women actually lose respect for the men once the men go that avenue. Some.
Let me answer that. You talk about you grew up in the country. Me born under the clock of Kingston, but I know that every O have its stick a bush. In fact, it's a wrong stick. It's a wrong stick that have. She's a not stick. Yes, she's not easy Kenedzzo. Now, when you know that we talk about help me, that's what the Bible said, let every man have his own. Some woman will have an affair one. And some them have an affair one and things. So therefore, she as a Izo Kenedzo is helpmeet, is there to help him walk and fulfill his purpose, is there to be there like a covering, because that word Izo is used of God's, as is God is the Ebenezer and thing. No, when she ridicule him, when she emasculate him, when she laugh after him, she has failed as a woman.
Wow.
But let me ask you, brother Mark, because I'm not sure if you're talking about a man, because you can go overboard with it, you know. I don't think Reverend Peck was talking about a man where does everything he cry for.
Bali, no.
So we're not talking about a bali man. We're talking about a situation every now and then it comes up in the family. And my wife would tell me when certain things come up, him saying, man, express yourself, man. Ease yourself if you have to ease yourself. But I don't think my wife would want a bali man. So I don't know if you're talking about a bali man or just a man with us, you know, when circumstances arise, then if you know, come up with it.
All right. Put it this way, no, because I do agree that men are also emotional creatures. We just don't express it. And just as though, like the wife will go out and she'll have a bad day and she come home and she just want, you know, just release. You know, scream if she wants, scream and do all of that. Men, we go out and have a rough day and sometime we come home and listen. I remember days, I'm not afraid to talk. Remember days when life rough for me and there's no woman here now, so I can ball to myself. And when we come home, the pressure of thing when it hit me, and me feel like me just lost. Me don't know what to do. Yeah, man, me come in and me shut the door, man, me drop right at the doorway and start ball, man. So if no, imagine a man doing that in front of your wife. You come home and you bust the door, you come in, you just drop right at the doorway.
Okay, let me put it this way. Okay.
Just lay your troubles on my shoulder. Put your worries in my pocket. Rest your love on the wife.
Yeah, I will say this. Listen, it takes. I'm gonna use this term. It takes a big man to show emotion because there's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with emotion. There's nothing at all wrong with it. If you can't express the emotion, then what you're doing, you're holding it up internally. One of these days, you're going to explode. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because all you're doing right now, you're actually imploding in yourself, trying to hold it, trying to be strong, trying to look like something that you're really not. And when you explode now, you take it out on your family because it becomes anger, it becomes all of this stuff inside of you. It's better to release it. And where is it more better to release it from? In front of your woman, in front of your spouse, your wife. You know what I mean? With how? It makes for good communication, baby. You know what? I just have had it at work today. I can't take it anymore. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't deal with what's happening on the job anymore. And you carry it, and you really, she's supposed to understand that and consult you. You know what I mean? You know, if she find you to be weak or something like that, something, I mean, she lacks something in her. She lacks something in her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the whole.
That's what I was going to bring across, you know, Pastor D.
Yeah,
to say.
Yeah, she lacks something in her. But she can't show me comfort.
Yeah, to just say.
Suppose my father died. Unfortunately, my father is dead. But let's say somebody, and I'm crying. She said, "Man up, man, what you bawling for, woman? Watch yourself." They said better to live in the house top than to live in the house with a bar.
But that was the question I was going to ask, you know, Pastor G. Are most of our women, today taught how to really deal with? Because a lot of times they say they would like to be with a man that is emotionally intelligent. But can most of our women handle a man that is okay with expressing their emotion? Are our women taught how to deal with that?
Let me answer you this way. When you're having sex, aren't you not expressing your emotions?
Yeah.
When you're having sex,
a different emotions then time a different emotions.
When you're having sex, You the softest thing in the world. Baby, I love you. You don't know how much I love you. Oh, girl. You're the softest thing in the
No,
world.
man. So man express vibes cartel and thing,
It comes out there, in that
I think
passion.
I think, brother Derek, I think before we go on, and I'm not talking, before we go on to say whether the woman is this or that, I'm seeing something missing and lacking with the men, and maybe this is not for you. And then as we are here talking about a real man, right? And if a real man going to come from work, and because him have, and I understand we wired differently. Because sometimes when my wife come in, she give me the details and all of those things. I would just come and tell her, how is it there? Good. And if anything, spectacular happen, we go into that. So I understand we're wired differently. But if we have to come in and rush to our room, maybe we're not ready for this yet. We're not ready for marriage yet. Because you're doing more harm than good. Maybe your wife is waiting and she is there, so you could just go lay on her arm, drop in her arm, talk to her, and she will, nourish you, encourage you. But you're gonna lock up in the room, and guess what? You boiling inside, you should just come and knock on the door. If you have a cup of tea, you explode. Maybe you're not ready for it yet. Let's say that before we go and look at if the woman can handle it. We want to know, we as men, how we deal with it.
So here's my question. So when will this man be ready though? When will he be ready? When?
Marriage is a
Well,
journey.
the truth is, because a lot of men, there are men who decide not to show the emotional side. And I think a while back, I think it was TD Jakes that did that teaching on it, to say that a lot of wives, they still don't know who their husbands are. They still don't know them. They get the masculine side, but emotionally, a lot of them still don't know their husband. Because you have men who have gone through the thing of opening and showing that side. As Peku would say, to the wrong one, the wrong stick, because the one they name feel. And to how the woman treat him. You understand? Him decides to never again. He will open up to another woman. Never again. Because we have to realize that, especially our Jamaican culture, it is being taught to even our girls that men are not supposed to cry. Men are supposed to be soft and emotional. Men supposed to be rough and tough. And we talk about making love. Most Jamaican man don't know what it is to make love. We don't make love.
No, don't say more. Don't say more.
Most of us out here, we don't make
We
love.
just have sex.
Some.
Not even sex, but we have not even know what that a bam bam like we are
Yeah,
fight
but
combat. No,
but
we
they
don't
don't
know what it is to express ourselves to a woman. So and that's why I was surprised when I started to hear a lot of women saying that they are married for 20, 15 years, 9 years, 10 years, and they still don't know what it is to have an orgasm because the man don't know how to get them there.
No,
And
but
I
can
said,
I ask you
what?
this? Can I ask you this, Sir McFarlane? Men
Yes.
are not mind readers. You mind you're going down my road, you're going now.
So somebody else say what we are going to talk about, because not say me say listen, even if we not access Sir Peck, we're going to find a way up to go down.
And in fact, our partners, whether male or female, don't read mine. There's a song that one woman sing, Daddy don't touch me there. But it's time that wife starts say, Obi, this is where I want you to touch me. Some of us don't read and don't know we don't know the alphabet of a woman's body. We don't know where the G, the V, or the A spot is. So we don't know how to exploit those and things. And because we don't know how to exploit those, we might never get a woman having orgasm. And because some preacher I tell you that if you enter from the back, you are committing sin.
True. Missionary alone legal.
Pastor Peko, I think you need to, because we have a problem like that one time, and I'm not cutting you. When you said there was a brother, all right, let me put it here. There's a brother, and he went to another brother and said, listen, man, I'm having some problem. My wife a complain, say, I want missionary style every night. So the brother said, enter from behind. He said, I never know you could do that. He said,
What
yeah,
I mean?
man, when you go tomorrow, you turn over your wife and enter from behind. But he went, he entered the exit, you know, because what he is behind. He entered the exit. So that it caused a big problem in church, you know, because the brother come back at church and say, are you elder? Tell me if you do that and my wife run out naked. Let me do wrong. The man said, what did you do? So, you know, so turn up and enter. So you have to elaborate.
That goes back. We must not listen just to answer. We must listen to understand. He hear from behind. Because the man never tell him to enter in behind. He tell him to enter from behind. All right. So you have to understand that. And if you understand the woman anatomy, and many of us don't know the anatomy of our woman. When we are grown up, we talk about weak spot. I talk, it's an erogenous era. And if you have to study your wife body, study while she's there, as that book that soon drop, Sounds from the Bedroom. You have to know where to touch to make her purr, make her this, make her that. And if I tell people that men have G-spot, them will tell me, say, no, man, I have G-spot. But we too have G-spot. But how many women know that?
So
Well,
we
me,
have
man, I
to
mean,
know
I
each
know
other
that.
then as partners. We have to know each other's. You know, if we study each other, Rev. Honestly, we have to.
You have to.
We have to
You got-
explore each
listen,
other.
you got to know each other. You got to learn each other's likes and dislikes, and
We have to explore each other.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
you got to
That's the
explore
word.
each other.
Explore each other.
You got to know all of that. God made all of that, man. See, in the
So
house.
Pastor Pickle,
Yeah.
so Pastor
yeah.
Pickle, what I'm hearing, the book that is coming out, Sounds from the Bedroom. So we're not just talking about just any sound.
No.
I'm not making nonsense. Yes, because when you study your partner, you know, and she says stay there, you
Yeah.
must know what that means.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
that
man.
sound coming from there, and I just say, you get up and I make up a nice.
No, man.
Because I have a brother Mac. There's two guys, you know, and they must say, but oh, you get your, you know, they are roommates, but there's a section up at top you can look over. They say, oh, your wife, I make so much nice at night time. I can't get my wife to make nice. He said, me put it on her properly, man. So he decided, everything he tried, he can't get her to make no nice. So he decided to look one night over. You know that man over there bending up the woman finger. That's what he tried. You know, because you're putting it on properly. He might broke off her finger.
But me not ask
So
you, say,
your
how him
sounds
know
are
say the man
important.
and wife are met nice? How him know?
But listen,
No, remember I said, yeah, it's a roommate, you know, and it
Oh,
the wall
okay,
go all
okay,
the way up.
Okay.
you see, the thing is, you know, we are afraid to talk about these things in church.
Yes.
Why do woman moan and man curse when they are being intimate? And if you study all of that, you'll understand why and why it is important sometimes not to fake it, but to be genuine in your expression.
Mhm.
Well, Rev, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know what's wrong with mine, but she always called me Jesus. And I keep telling the woman over and over and over, my name is John, not Jesus.
Ain't nothing
But
wrong
she
with that,
always,
Pastor G.
she
Ain't
always
nothing wrong
said,
with that.
oh Jesus.
You know you're
I said,
safe.
Oh, God.
Do you see?
Rev, him safe, you know, because she has a Jesus.
Jesus
Rev,
Christ.
Rev,
And
Rev,
she gonna kill me tonight because she watching the show too. But that's it. I keep telling her my name is John. You married John. You keep calling me Jesus. And let me say, oh John, oh Jesus.
Rev, I hear you say this many times, and I'm still confused. And we are here tonight, and I want you to elaborate on it. When you say that women mourn
Yeah,
and man curse,
yeah, man.
explain a little for me.
Because that is how it is. That is the biological fact. We make nice and we say some things and we some man swear when he's reaching up to the mountain.
It's expression. It's expression.
Yeah, that is an expression. When the woman is climbing up the wall, she gradually so she purrs. And she grown because that is how it is. When the book come out, you'll get it in even more graphic detail. Sounds from the bedroom.
you have you have this guy, and he will say that, okay, well, it's a girl. I thought I saw it on Facebook, and she was telling her husband, say you and I gonna have some serious problem. He said what? He said, listen, when I'm coming, I said choke me. Me not serious, You understand? So when she said, you don't listen to those sound. You are choke me like you want to kill me. Me you got problem with that. So how you deal with a case like that? They said choke her. I said, no, only we can't choke you. Choke me, I don't want to choke you. Choke me height, choke me tighter. Tomorrow she want to kill you.
Yeah, she is in the moment of ecstasy. She makes that remark, that demand, but as she literally said, she don't mean to choke or kill her, but to hold her in such a way that will keep the vibration secular, because she vibrates, so she's secular at that time.
When you say Rev, she vibrated.
Derek,
You have to hold her in a compassion.
you don't lost your broadcast tonight.
How did we get there?
Man talk.
Yeah.
But see, it falls back to this. It falls back to the fact of it's actually all of it is actually expression. So if you can express yourself sexually, moan, groan, curse, whatever it is, bawl out, scream out, because sometimes it get good to me. I mean, she have to cover my mouth because me, I get excited too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why is it hard for a man to now cry? Why is it hard? If you can, and guess what? If it's real good to you, water come down your eye too, Derek. What?
Well, I agree. Because
so what?
Yeah, me are one of the nicey type. If you see it, I make nice man. Yeah, we don't have a problem. But as I talk about, one of the things I experienced, because we talk about busy. One thing, whenever active ministry, I used to realize whenever I go out, whether I do a concert or if I'm invited out to preach or so whenever I am finished,
yeah, man,
for some reason,
you feel
yes,
like
man, me up on a peak, man, and it's like if me not get no release, me have problem. Like I'm as a one that if something wrong, because whenever me finish, me just don't finish talk about Jesus. Me come up high in the spirit, and so I don't know as I wonder. So if that's a wrong thing, I don't know if anybody has experienced that. But
Hold on, Reverend Pico, don't answer the question because me have one behind that says that I want you to answer it because you don't help me. Because if I have sex before me preach, me are the best preacher in the world.
all right.
So Rev, help me out.
Before you help him out, Rev, Pastor G, if you take a little piece and leave it the rest till after the sermon, that's the best sermon also,
Exactly.
Just a piece before you go out the road. I said we'll finish it later, honey.
Our thing is that, we don't recognize that sex is a spiritual thing. So if we say sex, we must put Jesus there. It is God who creates it. It's God who creates it. So never you think that sex is an unclean thing. And so it is a spiritual thing. That is why we need to ensure that those of us who preach and minister, we have our spouses close by, because most time when single men who minister and preach fall is immediately after ministry. Open up and the devil knows, so I'm moving for that.
So if I could, our single man deal, because I remember, after my separation and stuff, that's one thing before I back from ministry, because me did that bex with God. Because I said, tell me I'm going to deal with this now. Because me accustomed to after me done, me gone home, going to do my business. Now that gone.
Continue ministry.
How a single man deal with that? Because that was something when it takes some time for me adjust, because after me done minister that the hide did the same way I know.
It comes with discipline. It comes with discipline.
And question, is masturbating wrong?
You want to go to that subject?
No, don't go on the reverend.
Before
Don't go on
before
that. Don't go.
before you go to the masturbation, because we could go on, but let's stay here, brother Derek, because I hear you say that
No, because
you were mad with God. And maybe my
yes,
question,
man,
maybe you don't have to
because
answer, but maybe it could be a general thing. And the question is why?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
why?
yeah.
sometimes,
Because
sometimes we need, hold on. Sometimes we need to mad with ourselves. You
no,
understand?
man.
Now,
When we say
your
mad,
relationship,
because you're married. When me I say mad at the time, because as me said, married and me I go so boom man a launch out in a ministry and you know when like you plan out your thing and you say all right, you go and you say all right now, focus, married, have family. We just a go do G, we just a do God right now. Me I focus on what's there. And very active in ministry now. As I said, the only thing never really do in church was to pastor church, but I serve as acting pastor, fasting leader. The whole works.
I
Baptism,
see.
the whole works. And I was going, preaching at
Yeah.
conventions, yeah, street service, going good. But the marriage start to become shaky and yeah, I wonder like, but God, me I do what you call me to do. So
Okay.
how comes me I do this and me I try, but the more
Uh,
me go at ministry, this a fall apart. And me I try fit everything together. Me I try hold it together. But it
okay.
reached to
All
a
right.
point where we could no longer hold it together. So
All
had to
right.
let
Well,
it go.
okay. Well, while you talk, I allow you to talk for a while because it keep coming out, and we have to be very careful too. When you pick up a woman and call her your wife, you have to balance it with ministry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say minister, 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 and you know what gonna happen? Your assistant minister gonna be sexing your wife. You can't be just when God, you call me. I mean, I do all of your work. Me, I go all out. You have to balance it. Sometimes you have to step away
No
from
man, in
ministry and
that
say,
case,
"Honey,
me
put
I
her
know
in
one of
charge
them
and
type they
she's
will
gonna
out
do
to
the rest
preach
of it
every
a
night.
bit."
No, me not out to preach every night. They home with family, man. But the
Well,
marriage itself,
yeah, but the marriage,
it's like
the
we
marriage,
were.
the
Mm,
marriage falls apart not because of God.
mm,
In fact, when you check it out, that marriage gonna fall apart because of me or my wife. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I would even say my mother-in-law and whatever, because the buck stop with us.
Yes, you're so right.
The buck stop with
But
us.
but the marriage will fall apart too because of sin. The thing about it is that
mm.
you don't stop what God called you to do. You know what I mean? You keep serving God. There isn't nothing. The Bible said there's nothing new under the sun. Listen, God knew what was going to happen to you before you ever knew it was going to happen to you. God
Exactly.
knew your marriage was going to fall apart. Before you ever knew it was going to fall apart. God had already God put things in place to sustain you and to keep you. What we do is that when these things start to happen, we turn our head away from what's in front of us. That's why the Bible tells us we should ought to be wearing these blinders that we can't look to the left and we can't look to the right. But what we do, we move the blinders and we start looking to the left and to the
Mhm.
right. So that way we lose focus. So now the marriage becomes the whole thing, and we start focus on this, and the ministry start to slip and to fall and to go aside. Don't think that God don't have somebody else who to love you. A lot of time, I believe, when I see marriage don't work out for people, I begin to wonder: did you really marry the right person, or you just pick a woman because she look good? She might have the Coca-Cola shape and have all of this. Did you marry the right woman? Because when God give you one, okay, when you leave your mother and father and find one, there should be a whole lot of kind of compatibility there. And no matter what you're going through, a woman stick to you thick and thin. Like many people know my story. If it's Roy don't know it, if Pekka don't know it, then my 10 years in prison. My woman was there, 100%. Her mother was there. I asked her mother, why you love me so much? She says, why not love you? You know what I mean? That kind of jacked me up, when she said that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Her family support was there for me. You know what I mean? Because her mother come to the prison and tell me, say, listen, we ain't gonna have no talk about divorce. She was with you when you were bad. She gonna be with you while you was in here. Okay? So
Well,
when God give you something, you have to know this is the one. And no matter what goes on in your life, she is there or he is there. If the person start looking at where you have to say, was that God's choice or was that my choice? You know what I mean? That's what you have to. That's what this thing boils down to. That's what it boils down to. And so I think for a lot of us in the church that goes to divorce, it's because we didn't. That wasn't God's choice for you. That was your choice for you. You
Yeah,
know.
I'm good one. I just said that. Oh, how does a young man in church saying looking to get married, wants to start a family and serve God? How does that man can identify God's choice and not his? How does he differentiate? Because I
I will put.
remember being young, and I asked a pastor, how you go about choosing a wife? And he said, boy, all of them are the same thing, just pick one.
I think that's a very good question,
It's a
Brother
very good
McFarlane.
question.
That's a very excellent
But
question. And I think it's about time that we get this right. And I keep saying this from time to time. You meet a girl today, you engage tomorrow, and you're married today. Or what? You're married Saturday.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
after you marry this person and take her home, you say, but me can't live with this. Me can't live with this. You not even wait for a red flag sign. You're not even waiting to get to know this person. But after you make that commitment now until you're married, then that's the time you say, well, it's the wrong person I'm married.
but
And then who you're gonna blame? God. You say God is the one who sent that person for you.
Yeah.
but
When God is tell you, just don't rush, go lay your hand on nobody just like that. Take
But
your
sir,
time.
what
Take
are
time to
red
know
flags?
her.
but
We hear about red flags. We just want to touch. We hear about red flags, and oftentimes we hear watch out for. But how do we identify red flag? Because one of the tricky thing, everybody have faults. Everybody have them bad ways, So certain things, is just in the person nature. So me, me probably have something here, so and somebody else, to somebody it's a red flag, but to another person it's not. What are truly the red flags?
You
Me
you
probably
gotta
meet a
know.
but
woman and she
but
can't cook
hold
and me say
on,
that's a red flag.
No,
Another
hold
man,
on
if you
before we
say
get
she
to the
can't
red
go
cook.
ahead.
flag.
Go ahead, DJ Apache.
Hold on.
DJ Apache trying to talk. Go ahead. Go
Here's
ahead.
my
Yeah.
thing, my take on this then. All we know say is the wrong person. But my thing is there from the get-go, there was no balance there with God. You understand? There has to be a
No
balance
balance with
with
God.
Christ.
Hmm.
If not,
But
yes, it's going to fall apart because one thinking Christ and then the next one not thinking Christ. So, so that's what I'm saying. All we know, all we can say that was the wrong person, or if we truly were balanced with Christ, then the marriage would work. But if it's not balanced out, then guess what? It not gonna work, and then we say what it's the wrong person we pick. So I don't I don't that statement can go left or right. It can, but
mm,
when we are getting involved in a marriage or something, Christ has to be in it. From the beginning to the end. Because if he's not from the beginning, then yes, they'll fall apart. It's gonna be fear, fuss, and fight till we just say we're done. So Pastor and
mm.
Reverend don't agree. Say Christ has to be from the beginning.
Yeah, man. He's the
Yeah,
nucleus.
yeah, I agree. I agree with you 100%. Look at this. When who was it? Abraham?
Yeah.
Was it Jacob? When he was looking for a wife for Isaac, you know
Yes.
him do? He
Yeah.
went back to him country and find a wife. Why?
Ah,
What's the significant? What is important about that? Because this woman will know culture. They
Yeah.
will know
everything.
everything. They know everything about the lifestyle, about the living, about everything. He could have picked Jacob could have picked a wife for Isaac
That
in
he
the
did.
country he was.
Yeah.
But he chose to go back home. He sent him servant back home. The servant asked the question, how will I know where she at? He said she gonna be at the well.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
So that shows God was very much in it.
He's
Here's the
always
thing.
about the
Here's the thing for us. We meet the person and we have so much emotional things raging inside of us. Okay, that we don't take time to spend quality time with the person. Let me learn you and you learn me. Let's start from a spiritual perspective first. Tell me about your relationship with God. Okay, I need to know about that. Number one. Spiritually, I need to know where you at. You understand? And spiritually, if you're learning the person spiritually enough, and you know that right there alone can be a red flag based on the personal spiritual state. Tell me, have some biblical questions that you tell me about this and you and God. See how much Bible the person know, how much time they spend with God, the quality time with God. That will tell because because you know your walk with God, you know your relationship with God, you don't know the persons. Okay, don't try to guess the person, not because she's singing in the worship team, not because her hand is lifting up. You know what I mean? A lot of that go on in church. There's no God really attached to her. That's just the emotion of stuff happening. You know what I mean? So spend time with the God, with her spiritually, and then spend time with her physically. Tell me about what's your outtake on finances and what's your goal in life. Based on where you're at right now, where do you want to be 5 years from now? Where you want you're
Right.
spending time with the person. And then here's the thing:
Mhm.
see what it is you guys having, what it is we have in common, what we have in common, because common things will help you to build. You know what I mean? It will help you to build. If you're
Yes.
not seeing nothing in common, well, those things are flags. You know what I mean? Those things are flags to run from. You know what I mean? When I met my baby, my heart leaped. And guess what? Me no said that was mine because my heart, I was like John the Baptist, you know what I mean? And Mary and Elizabeth. When she come in the room, my heart leaped. And in me, I says, whoa, this is gonna be my wife right there and then. You know what I mean? Did I pursue her? No, she went home to be with her mother. It was not until on my birthday was the next time I think about that girl. You know that I said I want to go to the movie. You know what I mean? And I was with another girl. Me and this girl was good friends. She's my basketball partner. And I then inside the girl apartment, and I said to her, you know what? Today's my birthday. I want to go to the movie. She said, okay, let's go to. I said, I don't want to go to the movie with you. I want to go to the movie with Beverly. The girl chased me out the house.
Pastor D, one
Because
of the very unique thing in your relationship, one of the very unique thing, and we don't know we can touch on that because as you say, you did 10 years in prison and your wife was there. Presently, I don't know if that's possible in today's world. A woman is going to sit 10 years and wait
No,
on
it's
her husband.
possible. It's
I mean,
It
possible.
is possible. Yeah.
It is possible
all right.
because okay for her. She was born, bred, and raised in church. I think she must
Mm.
have born on a Sunday in church or something. Her parents been in church. She been in church. Any left she went, me take her there. Okay, me
It,
any bad she do, me make her do it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And everything. Her parents was there, so she had values in her instead from home. She had those things. She had real love inside of her. And most of
So,
all, her mother was so supportive with
Yes.
all of my mess. So you have to see that in the moment at the time you don't see it as God. But then when times and things pass, you have to say, God, you've been there all along in this situation. Because when God has somebody for you in your life, He know how to keep it together, no matter how bad you try to mess it up. He know how to keep it together. Even though you go left, even though you go anything, God knows how to keep it together. You know what I
it,
mean?
mm.
So,
God knows how to
so
keep it
Pastor
together.
G, if it's no common grounds, then that's where you start seeing the red flags, then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. You will see the front. Not to say that marriage is gonna be, when you come in the house, you still gonna have things
Right.
to work out. You still
Yeah.
gonna have
Yeah.
things to
Yeah.
work out.
Mhm.
You still gonna have things to work out. You know what I mean? You might drop your underwear on the ground, and she might get mad, or she might drop yours on the ground, and you might say, "Listen, girl, I don't do that in my house." You know what I mean? You know
Right.
what I mean? But those things are fixable things because and let me tell you something. When you get in a fight, if you're a real man, let me tell you something. You might even, man, you'll cry because you know so the love is real. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know the love is it ain't just soft. Is this is who God has. This is who my life's supposed to be with. You know that within you, and she should know that within her too. You know
well,
me?
Mm.
well,
Yeah,
you see,
yeah,
brother
yeah.
Derek.
Picker, you're quiet, picker. I got you quiet over
Uh,
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
what, it's a brother Derek, right? When
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you're seeking a wife,
Mm.
and I think that's where we deviate. And when we do it God's way, it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God
Yeah.
and His
Start
righteousness,
spiritually. Yeah.
and
Everything.
all other things, not some." And that thing could be your wife, so will be added. So when we seek God first and we pray about this and fast about it, God will not send you the wrong woman. You might pick the wrong woman, but
But God
God will not send you
the wrong one.
when you do it the right way, when you do it God way.
But
He said, wait on him. Go ahead.
yeah, but doesn't all right, God don't put two perfect persons together, right?
No,
He
Right.
no,
puts
not at all.
None of
some
us gonna perfect.
he put yeah, he doesn't put two perfect persons. You know, we know who the perfect person is already, but I'm just basing it like that.
Mhm.
I'm not going to put two our way up there already like that. He has to put somebody that has certain weakness and you have certain weakness, right? So now you're gonna help me build my weakness and I'm gonna help you build your weakness also.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. You see what as we start out by tonight by defining who is a
A
man
man.
and see we
That's what we
coming
talked
right back
about.
around to it, you
It's
know.
right back. It's
You
right back
see,
to it.
you see,
Yes.
my wife might be someone who angle the money better than me. And I said, okay, only you control the finance. It don't make me a
Right.
less of
Right.
a man, you know.
No,
No,
no, it
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
You
No.
understand?
It doesn't. It
Because
doesn't.
that's her expertise. And as
Right.
Right.
what
Hmm.
Pastor G was saying, you see what really happened, we do it, we put in Jamaica, we say put the cart before the horse.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So you run and you got married, and after you married her, you say that right now, draw a piece of paper, come down, make her sit down. What's your credit score? You know, how much money you owe?
Yeah.
You have a student loan. You can ask all of these things after, and when you put it on paper, you realize you can't even manage it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
You
these are
know,
some of the things you talk about before you even say, I do.
you know,
Here's the
And
thing. I
it
said
remind
today.
me.
Yeah. I said today. You need to create a marriage application. You do. You really
Yes,
do.
yes.
And you have your question. Yeah, yeah. But most of the time, you know what we miss? You know, there's somebody in your life that's a friend to you, a female or a male, and you got so much in common that you say, "This is my bestie. This is this. This is my bestie. This is this. This is," and then you go off and you married another girl, and who God really had for you was the one you're calling your bestie. She's so
yeah,
much. She's so close to you, like a sister. You can't see her something, nothing else, because you keep seeing her as a sister. You know what I mean? Well, Abraham was married to his sister. You know, you know what I mean? You know, and that's the only way you see in this girl. And
Yes.
God is saying, and no matter how God slap you, kick you, do anything, you can't see that this is who God for. But you see Sarah around the corner, but you're not seeing who you're calling your bestie next to you. And every time you're in trouble, who show up? Your bestie.
Yeah.
Anytime you need help, who show up? Your bestie. When you're in financial trouble, who giving you money? Your bestie. You come home from work, you say you're hungry, and you're talking to Bessie. She said, "Oh, come over, man, make us some food. Come, come, let me get a plate of food." Your bestie. But you thinking about Sarah around the corner, and you're missing who God has for you. And 10 years later, you married your bestie.
Yes.
always are
You
your
remember
best.
last week? Well, remember last week, Mr. Jackson with Pastor Kelly when he came on and he gave it his thing with his wife. You
Yes,
remember?
yes.
And him said before, before we got into this, I explained to her the situation and she explained the situation to him.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew what they were getting into
Exactly.
before, and that's
Been
a very
open.
good start,
Yeah,
Yeah.
to put everything on the table there.
yeah, man, you must. You
Well, let
know,
me ask you, Pastor Peku, before you go,
ask,
Pastor Peku,
oh,
because
Well,
what
there's a
about,
question in the chat. Hold
yeah,
on
man,
there.
I
yes,
come
that's,
to the question. But there's a question that you asked that you about when you're married and you have this thing, Sir DJ. In my book, Men, One Woman is Enough. There's a chapter that is entitled The Symbolism Behind Bride and Groom. Because we call the man groom and we call the woman bride. But who is a groom and who is a bride?
Hmm.
And until we understand our role as men, that as groom, it is a nurturing role of the husband. You know, that husband to be, so that we can evoke the image of preparation and care, much like how you groom a horse. It's a, you know, it's something that alludes to the duty to safeguard and cherish your partner and thing, while the bride speak of purity and transformation. So you got, while you groom her, she will be transformed into a wife.
Yes.
Amen. Amen.
So you know, you say these material are out there for our men to read, but we're not reading because you know that we are not, men don't love to read. They
Don't love to read it for real.
Yeah, yeah, we have to read. For that
Right,
brother
right.
who's asking the question about is lady keep accusing that him having somebody. No, love doesn't accuse.
Well, you know how I'm going to answer that for him, Peko? Reverend
Yeah.
Peko? I was going to tell him, check who's cheating.
Check. Because it is said, and it is said, most time they project on you what they are doing.
What they are doing.
Yep.
But
Let them check who's cheating.
there's another flip to that too, you know.
No,
And
but
maybe
we play around with this team too much. That's why I love Reverend Peko when you're talking like that, because we water it down. Check who's cheating. Just tell the man straight up. Check who's cheating. If every day I come home, I got a woman, but check who's cheating. One day fake you're going to work and come home.
But Pastor Peko, how would you deal with a case like that? Because it's a very serious question, you know. I know that I'm clean, and I know that I'm not cheating, and every day just on my back. You're cheating. Something you push that man to go cheat, you know.
Somebody who has integrity will walk through the door.
Yeah.
Never look back.
But before you walk to the door, Pastor Peko, would you say, you know what? Let's go get some counseling.
Yeah,
Something
yes,
is
and
missing
try
here.
to hinder, because that individual definitely has a problem. Why are you accusing me of cheating? Irrespective
Oh, you
of
don't trust? Oh, you don't trust me? You don't trust
There's
me?
no trust. There's no
If
trust.
you don't trust,
Is
if
it
you don't
that you
trust me, why are you here? Why are you
Is it
here?
that you
You're gonna
Pastor
you just
G.
gonna annoy me every day. Annoy me every day.
Pastor
You know
D,
what I
is it
mean?
that you don't trust me or you don't trust yourself?
But I am the one you're accusing.
But I'm the one you're
But
accusing, so
sometimes it's
you don't
because
trust
of
me.
you, you know, Reverend Peko. Sometimes you are the one doing it, you know.
That is what we are saying.
That's why I say check who's cheating. You know what I mean?
Because the
Check
fact
who's cheating. You know what I mean?
I am not.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
trust is not there, though. You know, the trust is not
The
there.
trust is not there. You know what I mean?
Irrespective
So
of my
why stay in some? If you can't trust me, why me and you together?
Right.
irrespective of my history, I might have
Yeah.
been a womanizer. You might have been somebody who have paid the fee, but we are now committed to each other. And one of the column of any good relationship is trust, communication, and commitment and all of those things. And if trust is not there, then you're gonna head up and powder house. As you hear my phone ring, no matter where you're there, you're gonna come cocky ears to find out who me I listen to.
And can we go back and say this is some of the red flags, brother Mark, that we are talking about? Because guess what? You marry a cheater, right? And you say, you know what? After him go change, man. You don't do that. You marry that cheater and he continue to cheat, and you give pastor and coach everybody problem. That's who you marry, you know. You don't even say, let's go coach him before. We don't do nothing about him before. You say, who? 5 girls want him, and they go say, me get him. And you get the cheater and carry home the cheater, and I put people in a problem with you and your cheater.
Expect to have a barber dove. Now I'm gonna change it to a monkey. A cheater is a cheater.
Listen, here's a red flag, Derek. If you can't answer her phone and she can't answer your phone, that's a fact. My phone there in the bed and it's ringing. I have to beg my wife to answer the phone.
I have to do the same thing.
Beggar, literally beggar. And guess what? No matter who called me, whether it be teacher or whatever, everybody call me. I never put my phone to my ears. I press it and we hold a conversation.
Yeah.
She hear every conversation that's going on. You know
That's
what I mean?
an interesting one.
So guess what? If we talk, because teacher is the moderator, so if I'm talking to teacher, and teacher say, teacher say, tell Lady G good night for me. I said she's listening to us, man.
Well, let me ask you, stay right there, Pastor G. Okay, you're talking to Sister Tidra, and you said, "Tell Sister G good night for me." And you said, "Yeah, she's listening to us." But Tidra really want to talk to you about a problem one to one. She want to have. She don't want to talk to Sister G. Or she want to talk to Sister G. Don't want to talk to you. But she just want a one to one thing. And she said, Pastor G, they called to talk to you. It's nothing out of place and whatever, but she just wanted, confide in you.
Mhm.
How would you deal with a case like that?
When I get off the phone, Mr. I'll tell Sister G what we talk about, so you might as well hear it. I
All
still
right,
don't
sir.
tell her.
All right,
I
Sarge. I
I
hope
am
you
a
got your
real
answer.
man and I cry and I still won't tell her. So don't call me about Uno business if you don't want me to tell her. Okay? Well, you
Oi.
heard that. Don't call Pastor G for your business because she gonna be a part of the business too. You
Pastor,
understand?
I run up into that
As a
one.
matter of fact,
Yeah,
matter
you
of fact,
sure did.
So,
if
so,
Sarge.
teacher,
so,
if teacher
so
called me
Pastor
and she
G,
telling me something, I gonna say, teacher, you know what? That's a woman conversation, man. Here, but talk to Beverly, man. Talk to she. Talk to she.
so Pastor G, what you're saying,
Mm.
as a couple then, it should be okay. So it should be okay for each person to go through their spouse's phone. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem where I don't
Listen,
want you to go through my chat
listen,
and see my message.
listen,
Yes,
listen.
brother.
And my wife set up my phone, So I don't know. She know password. She know everything in her it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we gotta have a trust factor. It's a trust
Yeah.
factor. I don't have nothing to hide. And the brother who asked the question, if him not saying he got nothing to hide, throw the phone at she. Throw it at
Mhm.
she. And
Yeah.
she says, see ya, go out and check it and see who's really cheating.
Mm.
Now, guess what? Give me your. There's a TV program called Unlocking Your Phone. If I don't know if you guys ever see that TV program. Okay, so now
Oh yeah.
here's my phone and give me your phone. Give me your password. Number one, if I don't have your password, something wrong in the house. Because how we gonna build family? How we gonna build trust? How we gonna build unit? How we gonna
Yes,
build
for real.
confidence in that? And guess what?
So Pastor
99%. She always tell me. She always said to me, "What's your password?" I said, "It don't change. Okay, it's my birthday with something in front of it. And if you don't remember my birthday, something wrong with you.
Right.
Okay, it's something in
Well,
front of the birth date. Okay,
you
hers is
know,
her birthday too. Okay, so me
so
know it. So
them
that's it.
picking on
Yeah.
Tidra right now because them
That was
while
the
Rich say,
teacher role. She just an example. Leave them alone.
yeah. No, it's not saying we're picking on Tidra, but we're saying that because even Shelly would say your bestie. That's what she said me auntie,
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
tell your bestie to give me a call or want her to do something for me. You understand your
That is
bestie.
your trust is. That
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
they know that there's nothing going on
talking.
between us.
Let me tell you guys this.
All right, yeah,
That-
talking about that as Apache touch best.
Hmm.
You think that's another controversial thing between in relationship with men? Can men have female bestie?
You know,
Yes. What's wrong
you
with
know
that?
Of
that
course.
I was about to tell you this, Derek.
you
Yeah.
that is not DJ Apache who declared that TJ is invested. Is
Yeah.
the
As a wife.
It's
relation.
the
No,
wife,
not
right?
touching Apache thing. We just general because that's a thing where they
All
say
right.
some men
But
say that it's impossible to have female friends.
all right.
They cannot
All
have
right.
female
No.
friends
Hold on.
because
Hold the thought right there,
Hold,
sir.
hold on, hold on. Let me
Hold on.
share this. Let me share. We had a young lady in
Mhm.
our church. Okay, that young lady in church. I used to pick her up. We go down to the church. I pick her up. I take her to the store. I pick her up. I take her to the post office. And one day somebody called the wife and says, I always see a pass. I always see a husband with this girl everywhere in the car and everything that. What Beverly responded and said? Beverly said, that's the only woman he allowed to have in the car with him.
Argument done.
All right. It's just like, Shelly would say to me, say, she don't really keep women friend, because, through music and everything and women just talk. Shelly have a lot of men friend and it don't bother me. You understand? Through coming up through the music thing, the DJing and thing. It didn't bother me because I see what she was saying. When you have a lot of them just chat and carry your business all over the place. When you can come and talk to a man and say it will stay. So she have a lot of men friend and it don't bother me. I run the joke with my brother though and say you could marry to Shelly, because you don't get jealous every day of your life.
Yeah, can
You
you know who it
understand?
is?
And
DJ
I thank
Apache.
God for where and put me where it don't bother me. You understand? And
But
she know
DJ
I have
Apache.
a lot of female friend too because of what I do.
Right.
But she know where I'm coming home, whom I come home to all the time. So that's another part of the trust right there.
Yeah. And you have to
When
establish
there's
boundaries.
trust.
And you establish boundaries.
Yes.
You know
Mhm.
how far you go. I mean, once boundary is established, and anybody who want to cross over the boundary, they say no, no
Mhm.
matter with it. So me I cut you off because what you not gonna mess up my relationship. We are brethren. We talk. My wife, because of the nature of her business, she interact with a lot of males. It's neither here nor there for me because I don't have the time and thing. And if me don't trust her, then me I go waste my time. Me I go miserable.
Let's let's stay right there for a minute. If if my wife best friend is the opposite sex,
No.
right?
Your wife best friend must be you.
No, well apart from me. Yeah, take me. We don't know that. Me second best friend,
Okay.
right? And if I have to be worried, stay with me now. If I have to be worried about boundaries with my wife and his friend, would I consider should she consider that as a friend? Because I think if my wife have a best friend who is a male,
Mhm.
I shouldn't be worried about no boundaries. If that boundary crossed, then that wouldn't be a best friend. That'll be
Ah,
something else.
right. Yeah. Once the
So I
boundary got
shouldn't have to be worried.
established,
I shouldn't have to be worried about boundaries because when you cross that boundary,
you
it
destroy
it,
the
it,
relationship.
yes, the
Yeah.
friendship should be over.
Yeah. So you see, we're having this discussion more so that Derek will be more
All
informed.
right. So, question as we talk about boundary and so. For me, now man, I am listening. As me say, I like to be controversial, like Sir Jackson. So me like
Like
to ask some
Sergeant, right? Like
controversial
Sergeant
stuff
Jackson.
because me love that.
Like
You know.
Sergeant Jackson.
So yes, man. So my thing is, what about as I say, wife have bestie, her husband have bestie. Well, a man talk. So your wife has a bestie. And your wife there on the phone with her bestie 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the night. How that go?
No, best to know. There goes again boundary. Best to
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
know that you're a married man, a married woman will not be calling you on the phone and they're paying you hours a night because that is disrespected. You're knowing that
Right.
it's there.
And
Yeah.
and the bestie himself, even
Yeah.
if she
Want to
don't
stay on
get off of the phone. Remember,
the,
that's a best friend, the
yeah,
best friend that male should say, listen, I want to hang up the phone, man. Go on your bed, go lie down beside the husband.
yeah,
That's a friend.
yeah.
Because some people you say they are friend, but them not friend of them just they're waiting in the dark to
Opportunity.
lurk when to prance,
Yeah.
right? And they're waiting when to prance at you. So they say as soon as I see an opening, because you say a best friend, but you won't think say best friend, but me not no best friend in my mind. Me
Yeah.
just wait my time.
Opening.
It could be 3 years, 4 years. I'm waiting on my time. But you know me call you best friend. I may do everything right. And you trust me so much, but you don't know. I'm just waiting for your man to mess up for me to make a prawn. So when
That
it
is
comes to
you
the best friend, when it comes
you
to
are
the best friend should be looking out for you.
you're
When
Yeah,
interested.
when
yeah.
when you down low, that best friend stay high.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And when you don't find your low point and you say, me I go mess up, that best friend to know, pull up your strap.
Yes,
Go
yes, yes.
inside, talk to your husband, make it right. Don't go to bed with whatever. Go and have a discussion with him. It's 6 o'clock. All right. DJ Apache, I have a son, and he taught me this. Pastor G.
Uh,
I called the boy 9 o'clock. Him don't pick up him phone though. After 9, it's over. Don't call his house after 9.
wow,
And it
wow.
takes me a while till I get it. But I say, well, that's his house. I have to respect it. If I
Yeah.
have something to talk to him
Exactly.
about, that's gonna be tomorrow.
Uh,
I
But
You
have
see
to
the problem
respect.
is,
I have to respect
but
his boundaries. It
But
is
you
all.
never know if there's an emergency, though. You understand?
Yeah.
My
If there's
daughter
an
always said
emergency
this.
tomorrow, even know. It's an emergency, even know tomorrow.
That's one thing my daughter always says. She said, we can always call dad. He'll pick up him phone. You understand?
As some people do, you know. 'Cause I tell some people call you after 6 in the morning. 7 o'clock, for things that can stay till midday. And all you say to them, say, if it's not something that has to be dealt with, no. Remember that I'm married, I have a family, and I have a life.
Right, right.
Don't call me about that. We're on this program now. You send the link out to people, say you're on this program or on my program, and you outline what time you are on the will be on the program, and them still call you while they're on the program, expecting you to win. And it's not something that you can deal with right away.
May lose connection for a while, so I miss out some height. So I don't know exactly where it touched, but
No, you know,
me just throw something in. I don't know if what you guys said, if it addressed that. But I remember we having a conversation at church and we were talking about the same bestie thing. And remember one person said, listen, and I hear it already. It's a listen, I have a bestie. And if I am in need and I need to talk to my bestie, we call him whenever. And him have to know, so him have to answer. So for me, I wonder, like, because for me, boundaries, I am one of those persons who believe in a boundaries. One, for me as a man, when you reach certain hours, nobody can call me unless it's an emergency. Nobody.
I was going to ask
unless
you the
it's an
question.
emergency. Don't call me 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night because you want that. Not when you know me have a wife here. And for me, me have the same expectation of my wife. No friends should not call a certain hours to talk to you and know say a husband here. Man.
You see it?
Anything you want to talk must can wait till the morning.
All right.
What if?
No, it might not live a seat.
No, again, if it's an emergency, if it's an emergency, do not call my wife hours a night because you want to talk. Go on, everything all right, brother. I got a problem in the guy, your bed. If you're single, go call another friend. Do not call my wife after certain hours you want to talk. Guy, your bed. Find a friend. If it's an emergency,
but
I will make room for emergency. But outside the emergency, wait till the morning, bro.
What if it's a spiritual insight I need? What if I need a spiritual insight?
I
see a problem bringing up there. Because I keep listening to you and I keep hearing a lot of me. I don't know if I'm
a lot of me.
Hearing that. Yeah, with you,
yes,
I'm hearing a lot of, you have to be careful with that also.
Yeah.
With me?
Because it's on, correct me if I'm wrong, it's all like you're telling your wife, after 10, don't answer your phone.
No, guess what I'm saying? No, guess what I say? Boundaries. I'm saying boundaries. I am not going to call. Listen. No, let me ask you now. Out of respect for family, Sir Jackson, you and Mrs. Jackson married.
Yeah.
Right? And I and Mrs. Jackson, we are friends.
Right.
Why am I going to choose certain hours a night when you and Mrs. Jackson supposed to own on the bed? Maybe you not do good to me, no know.
Right.
You get me? Maybe you not do nothing. Why am I going to call your wife 10, 11 o'clock to talk to her? That's like your family time. Or that's just me as a man. That's your family time. You're a family man. You are married. Why am I going to call you at that hour knowing that you have your husband? That's your time when you have an intimate moment. I am not going to do that. So it's not just saying me. I'm saying certain bunch. If it is not an emergency, why am I going to call certain hours of the night to have a friendly talk when I know you have a husband that needs your attention?
While I agree with you, but the question flips. The question will flip. Why your wife answering the phone?
Good question. That's why I say she have to go answer me know why she answer the phone because I want to know after this hours why you answer the phone. That's what I'm saying. So it's not a me thing. I have no problem with you having friends. I am saying
but
certain hours of the night.
She answered it because she don't know if it's an emergency or not.
Okay.
Once it's answered, then that way you establish the boundary. Listen, this is not an emergency. We could talk about this tomorrow. Okay, I'm with my husband now.
Yeah.
good night, good night.
Yeah.
And then you further establish boundaries and says, listen, unless it's an emergency, you know what I mean? So there's got to be a way to establish an emergency call from a regular call. So how do you do that in today's time? Maybe you say, well,
Mm.
okay, with all of these fancy ringtone out here, maybe we can create an emergency ringtone. But guess what? But guess what? The husband must know the emergency ringtone too, and the wife must know the emergency ringtone too. You know what I mean? Because
So
one time, because I have a different ringtone for the stuff me and the wife do here on the business. So for the house or the office up there, the ringtone different. The first time the phone ring in that ringtone, she said, "What's that ringtone?" You know what I mean? Because it's an unfamiliar ringtone. I said to her, "Oh, I put this tone on here, so when it ring, I know it's the house. I know it's the office up the street. So I'm going to answer that. If that ring 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to answer." But she know that ringtone.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Could it,
She know
could
that
it,
ringtone. But anybody else call me now, the phone has a regular ringtone, excepting for that location. So when you're establishing boundaries just that don't call me at this time of night because it might be a genuine
yeah, that's
emergency.
You're
And the
right.
right. That's what.
question,
But
and
that's what I said.
the
You know,
next
I
question
said
is this:
emergency, emergency.
it has to be a speakerphone conversation. You know what I
But
mean? It ain't like you put the phone up to your ear 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Is that guess what? Matter of fact, nowadays, when you go to bed, four of you in the bed anyway, you, the wife, and the two phones.
No, you see, that's what I think, because all right, as we said, we're talking about the difference between then and now, and there are some things, that I hear because sometimes when you talk, some things that you hear that couples have to deal with, and some of them to me are just like ridiculous. And then sometimes when the men do talk, you hear that, oh, you're too insecure, oh, you're too controlling too. But I'm saying, as a man, I'm sorry for too quiet. So we want to hear. How is it, sir? You are in your bed with your wife, and you see your wife phone ringing, your bestie calling, 10, 11 o'clock. Hey, I'm just here chilling, and you cross my mind. Huh?
You see,
That's not the best. That's not the best conversation.
no, that's not the best call.
You say
But
something.
hold on before you answer that part, Rev. But
Yeah.
sometimes you won't know if it's an emergency till when you answer the phone,
That's what I say. You got to change the
No,
ringtone.
no,
Right.
no. I am not saying don't answer. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in case of emergency. So if you're calling, of course, because listen, I have friends, and I have friends, and we know if my phone rings certain hours, it has to be an emergency because we not taught those hours a night. We don't. So it has to be something important. Not just even female friend, even male. I do not call my male friends coming know them married after certain hours. I have me and my producer, we have a very good relationship. He's married. His wife is really the person that does my background harmony and my songs. So, but even after hours, I know my producer is a married man. Me not call him after certain hours. In I'm bed with his wife. You understand? So I am not going to call him. So I'm saying, if there is that, so if I see Rico calling me after certain hours, me know say, yo, it has to be something important. You understand? And this is how we communicate every certain hours, and I have to call him and say, listen, boss, sorry if you disturb you so late. Because me know it's your family time. So I'm saying, certain hours to me is like my family time. And we must understand as a man that it's your family time. There is no way I should be calling you, sir, after certain hours to talk to you about nothing, unless it's a life or death. And when we say emergency, it has to be a life or death situation, life or death. Outside of life or death, do not call me, please. Don't call me. We can talk in the morning. We can talk in the morning. If it's so, you understand? If a life or death, so, but if it is not, I am saying, if it's the case that you are single and you want somebody to talk to, call a single friend. No, it won't know nobody. Call a single friend. Do not call my house when I know that me have a marriage and I talk, we want somebody to talk to. Call a single friend or call Jesus.
All right. You see what I'm hearing, brother Mark, because this shouldn't really be a big issue. I think what is missing, and help me out, Pastor G.
Hmm.
I think effective communication
Mhm.
is important. Not just communicate, because sometimes we communicate with our partner, but we don't have an effective communication. So maybe she might answer the phone and say, but we did talk about the phone and tell you, say whatever was gonna call me. Maybe we didn't put that time on it. Like when I go back to my son and say no, he will tell you 9 o'clock is the cutoff. You don't catch him before 9, and he will tell you that. So sometimes we communicate with our partner, but we don't communicate effectively.
Yeah.
We just give them a halfway.
Sir,
Uh,
no. What me I say now as an individual, right?
uh-huh,
Because we are all adults. We are all
right.
adults. There are certain things me as a husband should know to put in place without my wife consulting me about it.
Exactly.
My wife not have to tell me everything. Especially when you come on to that. My wife shouldn't have to tell me, say, Derek, me not comfortable with your friend calling you 11 o'clock to talk to you. I mean, me supposed to know, say, listen, this are my intimate moment. We in a bed. She shouldn't have to say that to me. You get me? I mean, I believe, because this is it. If, as a
So
man, if
Derek,
you love so,
you're answering your own question, because the thing about it, you're supposed to establish those boundaries way before with your friend. So
right,
Right.
it's just like
Mhm.
it's just like the sergeant is saying. You set the cutoff time. So after this time here, don't call me. Now, if there's a real emergency, we do have to have a different ringtone. So I know, say this ringtone is
all
yours
right.
and it's a real emergency.
And
If
So,
you don't set that boundary, guess what you do? You drive yourself crazy up the wall.
all right.
and then,
So, my
You have
thing
to
is,
set
hold
it.
so,
on,
You have
Derek,
to
when,
hold
set
on.
it. You have
And
to
you're
set
right
it.
eh,
on that, Pastor G. And that person's supposed to know to,
Yeah.
have some kind of decency about saying, it's too late for call, it can't wait. But if it can't wait, then, then we do,
Yeah.
we make that
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
in a relationship where that is happening, and if it's a case where it is raised and one spouse have a problem, you say, listen, I'm not too comfortable with that. And the other one reply, you're too insecure because you know, so we are just friends. How you deal with that?
But that's because you didn't stop. You not listen. I'm gonna go way back to what Pastor Peko said. All right. Okay. Headship is a responsibility, is not a right.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So we not get, you see, if you notice everything we start in the beginning, that's where we at. Okay. Headship is a responsibility, not a right. So if you don't establish all of those things, if you guys don't have that kind of communication to do that, then you're gonna always have problems. You're always going to have arguments along the line in those areas of your life. You have to establish that. You have to lay that foundation out. Okay?
So,
Is
but
this? Watch
so
this,
I'm,
watch this. What no,
uh,
listen to this. Okay? Because you keep saying your wife. But if the bestie and the wife you know married been there before you came in the picture, how you deal with that?
if, repeat that one.
If the bestie and the wife was there talking before
Uh,
you came in the picture, and now you married
mhm.
her, and bestie and friend was, and the two of them been there all along talking at night and doing whatever with them bestie, how you deal with that? You gonna jump
Well,
in and say, no, guess what, now you're married to me now, so all of that they're done. No, how you deal with that? How you
no,
deal with that?
how you deal with that? Simple.
Yeah.
As we said, if memory put it on my side then,
Yeah.
because I said I believe everybody's supposed to understand accountability.
Yeah.
So if I have a bestie that we used to reason before I got married, in even once in courting, right? Once the decision is made that listen, me and this lady is going to get married. My bestie are gonna know say, okay, I am looking to get married. So first thing, conversation I got cut already because the hours a night that I would be on the phone talking to my bestie before I meet somebody, that hours of the night now I'll be on the phone with my fiance from day one. So conversation cut already because I already know I have a fiance. So I have no need to be spending time with you talking because I have somebody that I'm looking to get married to. So when I come home, I should be on the phone with my fiance, right? Because I'm looking to make this woman my wife, right? So the change should start from courting already. So when marriage come, there shouldn't be a problem because you're supposed to catch the routine already. Say, listen, if it's that I call my fiance by 9:30 in the night, so if my Betsy attack, so by 9:30, you know, so your time done. Right? And at the end of the day, concern even bestie. My spouse is my bestie. I don't need another bestie. So if I have a bestie before married, after me get married, my wife is my bestie. I don't need another bestie.
So
Because with a bestie, to me, a bestie is somebody I talk to about every and anything. Right? That's a bestie. I have bestie. I have a friend that was that we have like 29 years of friendship. The day she got married, we don't talk, so we are still friends. But she married. Me no need to dep on the phone with my married friend certain hours a night when I was bad in her bed. You mad? No,
but,
if that a go on and the man get upset, me can't vex with the man. This young lady is married. Her husband is her bestie. We talk when we can talk, but me no need to have to on the phone with long conversation. Come on. Those things create marriage. They create problem in marriage. I have my wife. My wife is the one me supposed to talk about every and anything. Me no need a bestie. And I don't believe my wife need a bestie outside of me. You can have friends, but you're not supposed to have no bestie with bestie. And it's not being controlling. I'm saying boundaries.
okay.
Certain things.
That's why I said you got to establish the boundary. You have to establish it. Both of you guys have to establish the boundary. Both of you.
Well, I agree with you.
It's a simple fix. It's a simple fix. It's a simple
Yeah.
fix. It's not
So
a long fix to drag out. It's just you establish those.
I think.
Listen. When I met my wife, she had friends, right? You know what I mean? And she was always coming by me. And me said, listen, man, even when we get married, I just said, girl, let me tell you something. You could go out with your friends, you know. But you know what? I need that for her to change because she's like, you know what? Nah, I want you now. Because sometimes we can be careful that we don't become too controlling and too demanding. Okay?
Yep.
Instead
So
of allowing the transformation in the person. You know what I mean? To take place. So every now and then, you know, she would call and she said, okay, me and the girls at work, we going out. I said, okay, I'll see you guys when you get home.
Yeah.
You know me? But then you don't ask nobody to cut off what they have because I come in the picture. Let them do the transformation themselves. It's a smooth
And remember, no, I said the transformation.
I used to go play basketball. I love basketball. I used to go play basketball all the time, every time. Even after, and one day the wife said, what happened? You're not going to play basketball? And all of a sudden I find myself, you know what I mean? I'm going to basketball court the way I used to go. What happened to me? I don't go to the basketball court. You both get me off the basketball court. You know what I mean? But all of a sudden I find myself, wait, why am I home and not in the basketball? Them guys playing ball, man. I should be over there. But the transformation begin to take place because you want to spend quality time with the person you want to be and so every now and then you say, man, okay, I'm gonna play basketball today. Okay, I'm gonna be on the court today. You know what I mean? And do these transformations.
Remember I said no, the transformation. The transformation. Remember I said no. The transformation would start from courting. So at the day when I decide to get engaged to this lady I make her my fiance, I'm saying the transformation should start there. For me, if the transformation don't start when we are court, I am not getting married. Because that tells me that when I get in the marriage, it's still going to be a problem. The transformation, once you decide to become serious, I believe a judgment should start making.
Derek, you have to talk. You have to talk that. If the transformation is not happening in the courting process, you have to talk that through. You have to talk that. You have to talk it through. You can't remember now you talk about man being emotional and they don't cry. You're extremely emotional. You know what I mean? And so therefore, if you don't talk these things through, you create deeper stuff along the line because your talking can become demanding, can become controlling. You know what I mean? You got to be wise. Okay, I'm gonna give you a Bible verse to fix everything. You gotta be wise as a serpent.
Let me this clear the platform still, you know. No, let me this clear the platform. This is not some. No, I know Pastor yesterday, Derek. No, remember, this is not something I am going through. This is not. This is not a. Just make that clear. This is not something on my part.
You hit controlling and demanding.
And demanding too. Yeah,
And
Hmm?
sometimes we don't recognize what controlling is or demanding is not
demanding
All right. So
possible.
is.
what? So what is all right? So what is controlling and demanding? Because this is something I hear very often now. Once and this one we are going to talk because we are going to be controversial like Mr. Jackson now. Most
You're
time
not
when a
letting
man
me
make a
in. You're not
request in
letting
a
us to come back
relationship,
in.
most time when a man make a request in a relationship, the man is controlling. The man is demanding. When a woman asks the man to do something, the woman is not being controlling or demanding, you know. The woman is just setting no boundaries. Why is it when a man says something, it is put as the man is being controlling or demanding? But if the wife make this and say, listen, babes, I'm not comfortable with this. You will make
It's
the
how you
adjustment
bring it.
and I think that she come out.
Derek,
I'm saying,
Is how
because
you
it's
bring it
something I see a
across.
lot.
Is
Derek,
how you bring it. How you bring it across is how she is going to perceive it. Okay.
that's
How? Let me
that's
say that again to you. How you bring it across is how she is going to perceive it. I have something that I say. I say this all the wife to my wife. I say this. I say, baby, you are a reactor, and you know what reactor does? It explodes. Some people react to things. So if you bring it across that it sounds controlling, okay, it sounds like she gonna react to it in an explosive way. She gonna look at you like, what in the world?
Uh,
You know what I mean? And guess what you might hear? Guess what you might hear?
mhm.
Guess what? You might hear this word, and this will mess up anybody. You might hear this. Guess what? They've been there before you, you know. You might hear that.
Mhm.
And how you bring it across. It's critical, it's essential, it's important. You know what I mean?
Alright.
For you
So
to
Pastor,
understand that
so
and to
Pastor
do that.
J,
You know what I mean? You can't
Brother
just come and
Derek.
say, guess what?
yeah.
I've been okay. I gonna give you a you know, like I said, my wife had many best friends, whether male or, female. Where they are today, me don't know. She don't. We don't know because you allow people to say, oh, I'm
No,
married now. I have a responsibility to my husband. I love my husband. And so slowly these things begin to fade
no.
out of the way.
Brother
You
Derek.
know what I
Friendship
mean?
are critical, you know. No, I say
Yeah.
friendship are critical. I mean, I said friendships are
Mm,
not supposed to be there. I'm
mm,
not saying that the friend is supposed to disappear now because the woman
mm,
is married or because me
mm,
married, my
mm,
friends them
mm,
supposed to go. That's
That's
not
what I
what
was.
I'm saying.
That's what
And
I
then
was hearing earlier. That's what I
mm.
was
what?
hearing earlier from you. Yeah.
What?
Because a matter of fact, let me since we are there, let me deal with it because I
No,
wrote it down.
yeah, I
You're
said,
saying
yeah, I
Hang on,
was
Derek.
saying,
Hang on, Derek,
yeah.
hang on. Go ahead, Sergeant. Let me hear
Okay.
it. Mm,
Right. I wrote it down. The Betsy and friends because I was listening to you carefully, and you were saying that. Correct me if I'm wrong. When your Betsy should be your wife.
yeah, my
Your
wife is,
wife
yeah,
should be your
that's
Betsy.
me.
Right. And after your wife become your Betsy, your friend that you have out there is like you drop that friend. The friend that you
Hmm?
used to, roll with before you get married, you drop that friend. So your
No,
Betsy now.
no, no.
Oh, okay.
Bestie. As I say, listen what I say, me able to misunderstand the bestie thing.
Yeah.
My thing what I'm saying, because I'm not saying that the wife cannot have friends. Not that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I have somebody that I used to talk to about some deep personal stuff before I meet my wife, right? And when I get married, if there's anybody me gonna have those type of conversation with, no, it will be my wife because I know I have a wife. I'm
But
not
do you
saying
think?
me and that person are gonna stop being friends because I'm saying I have a friend and we are still friends. But
But
how we used to roll before she got involved, we don't roll that way anymore because now she's married. Now you have
okay.
to understand it's also protecting her integrity on a level. Because
Ask
if
me why. Let
person
me ask
should
that
see,
question.
so
Let me
when
ask
I
that
say let me
question.
close, let me
Mm,
just finish what I said this
mm,
because
mm,
what when she was single, we used to roll away. That's okay. Right now. But now you are married. I am looking at the whole thing of protecting your integrity as well. Because you are married and you know how people think certainly. So my thing is sometimes I don't have to give person things to think. If I know that listen, no, you're married, I'm just going to ease back. You know what I say? And let it. We are still friends, we still talk, we will still do, but
But
at the end of the day, I back away because listen, no, you are married
let me
and
ask you,
I
brother Derek.
respect your marriage. So
Okay.
that's
Let
what
me.
I'm saying. I'm not saying don't be
Okay.
friends.
All right. Let me
I'm
ask
just
you this.
saying boundaries come in place.
I agree. I agree with boundaries, but let me ask you this: that do you think there will come a time when you need to have a discussion with that. All right, let's move the Betsy now with that friend.
Mhm.
That you can't have with your wife, or it could be
Mhm.
something about your wife, and you want to talk. Maybe even to another female. I said, you don't have to go and say this is my wife, but I said, I know a friend and he's dealing with it this way, and he's dealing with this problem, and so forth.
Mhm.
Um, would you go to a friend like that then and have that type of discussion to seek help even in a relationship?
Well, because I don't know if you hear it wrong. Go on again, just so we
Okay.
don't misunderstand what it is.
All right. Okay. You said your wife is your Betsy, but you're having problem with your wife and you
Mhm.
need help. Can you just say, everything are just between you and your wife, but you need help, and you reach back over to that friend who is a female
Mhm.
and have some expertise in that field and
Mhm.
have a conversation with her. Would you have a conversation with her to help you to strengthen your relationship?
If I will have a conversation with her,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. To strengthen
depends.
friendship.
To straighten, all right, this is it. It depends on what it is, because again,
Whatever it
even
is
though
something to strengthen your relationship. Whatever it
yeah,
is,
even
it's
so let for example, this is it. That friend, we are not so close, right? Anymore, like how we used to roll being single. But mark it this day.
But see,
Anything, let me say no. But what may I say? Let me answer when I say this. So anything at all, because I may say the friendship is there. We are like still close. Anything at all. If I call and say, listen,
They're not
can
so
you do
closely
this for me?
close.
Eh? No, when you say close, in the sense that there are boundaries, they are not certain. But when we say close in the sense, there's a mutual respect. You understand? If I need if need something to be done, me can call on her and say, can you do this to me? And it is done. You understand? But the closeness, I may say that thing, because now you have to have room for build a marriage. We are still friends. You can still call on me to do anything. I will support you. Not no wrong. I will support me. But at the end of the day, you have your husband, and I understand that. So guess what? How we used to rule chirpy and used to do that. Listen, I am not this thing. When we probably single, we used to go out and we say we go out for we date and we go have fun. We just attack. This
we
woman
ag-
is married. I am not carrying out my married friend and no date.
we agree. We
You get
agree.
me?
I think we
But
all
see,
agree. I think we all agree
we ain't
with that.
talking about that. We know that. We know all
Yes.
of that
Right.
there.
But I am
We know all
saying,
of
so
that.
when I'm talking now, because the
But
simple stuff we're not talking about, I may never expect someone to really think of them, the stuff there. Friends, yeah, of course you have to have friendship in relationship. I'm talking about some things that I see done in relationship.
Let me
Where
okay,
a
but let me
man a
ask you this
carry out
question.
another man wife and date. Where another man depend phone with another man wife hours a night because we are friends. I will never dare learn this. I will never
But
dare say to my
the-
wife that
Derek,
if
some
I
of
have
them
a
things
friend and
there.
she have a problem and she come to me, I go say, babes. But you have to remember,
The,
say, you have to remember that Michelle was here before you. Oh dear, I said that to my wife. Like, you serious?
Derek,
Remember, Michelle
okay,
was here before.
okay,
Come on, people.
Derek, listen
No.
to this. Derek,
let,
Derek,
brother,
Derek.
Pastor
Okay,
G, Pastor
hold
G,
on,
sorry. Hold on,
Hold on,
Pastor G.
Sasha. Hold on, let me tell
Let's
him
watch the
something.
comment.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody is saying in the comment that
Mm,
the
mm,
guest
mm,
has been the host and the host
mm,
been the guest. So let's
mm.
calm down a little
Okay,
and turn
all
it back
right,
over
true. Okay,
to
right.
brother
So,
Derek.
okay,
Hmm?
okay,
The
but let
panel
me say
turn the
this.
host and the
But
host turn the
okay,
guest.
yeah, yeah. But then let me say this. You see, sometimes we missing something very critical in all of
Hmm.
this, because what's missing, and this is the thing. Most parties does not focus on this, and I want to hear Reverend Peko on this subject. What I'm about to say. A lot of the
Yes, man.
time
So
there.
be cool, quiet. Some of them man
Okay,
listen.
okay, but let me say this. A lot of the times, you have what is called an actual emotional attraction to the person, and
Hmm?
you call them the. I thought I want to mess you up because you never heard it. That's why you said the next book, Pico, right? Me gonna write the book with you, Pico. We'll talk. We write the book with you.
Yes,
Because they have a thing called emotional attraction. Emotional attraction. So therefore, you calling the person your bestie. But guess what? In your heart, the person is not your bestie. You have an emotional attraction
Hmm.
to the person. You understand?
Bingo.
Yeah. In other words, you love the
listen.
person, but guess what? You never kissed, you never had sex. You know what I mean? When you say, guess what I say? When you say we went out and date, we went to movie. You have an emotional attraction to the person. You understand? And so that emotional bond now, you can't break it. So therefore, the people them who you're talking about that you see doing that, they have an emotional attraction. Unless the emotional attract, confront them and say to them, man, you know what? You have an emotional attraction to this person. Watch their behavior. Learn from the behavior. Watch how they respond to you. Watch how they get defensive. You know what I mean? You mean watch how they get protective. Because the emotional attraction, they know exists, but they're not dealing with it. So yes, they say to the wife, well, guess what? You need to understand our relationship. You know what I mean? We've been like this forever and ever. It's an emotional attraction. And a lot of time we
But
don't talk about those kind of things. We don't bring those things up in the conversation, in the relationship. Tell me, let me understand, help me to understand. This is what you're talking to the woman you're now dating. Help me to understand how close you and this person is. That ought to tell you psychologically if your wife have an emotional attraction to this person. Okay, I want to hear Reverend Pico because he's very quiet and patient, and that's it.
very
Go on, Rev. Go on.
Go on, Rev, your time.
go on, Rev.
And
Go on, Rev.
we make the host again.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Derek said something,
Mm.
and that was the exact thing I was thinking about what Pastor G just said. That he said he has a group, they were at church, and the young lady said that she can, once she call for her bestie, he have to answer, no matter what. And that was what trigger, because sometimes we're not physically attracted to somebody. And in fact, emotional attraction and emotional infidelity is worse than the physical infidelity.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Teach.
And that is a whole program to talk about emotional attachment. Some people have workplace husband and workplace wife.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you can't, if there's anything that you can share with your person, that workplace, that you can't share with your wife or your husband, something radically wrong.
Yes.
The moment you get married, because friends protect friend protect
Mhm.
friend, and I don't want to be the one that cause any upheaval in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I will not, without you even telling me, not to call you at certain hours. I established for myself that I don't call people out at X time.
Right.
Agree?
I have friends, I have minister colleague that I said to the man, say, Virgin, don't call me until X time. And it's like him not hearing. In the morning, him just believes at 6:30, 7 o'clock, him fear call me. What I do, I just ignore the call. And further on in the day, and when you call him in the day, he must say, boy, this is he say, but Virgin, I tell you, don't call. And the apology with him. So both partner has to understand each other. And therefore, when the phone ring, because I will tell you, sometimes I leave out of the house, and I leave my phone on my desk, and my wife said, nah, my wife said, carry your phone, go on with you. Carry your phone. I will sit in here, and my wife next is over there, and her phone I ring. I don't pay it no mind. Because you don't have to prep Amanda who are going to call from who not call, because you have that understanding. In fact, we established something which we somehow will not live up to a certain, that we stop take call after certain hours a night. And I think they will say that you're a pastor, so Virgin can call you. I will say to you, I established that if it's not life and death, no call pastor. Because after my ministry at church, I have ministry to take care of yard. And that sermon is between me and my family and between me and my wife. So it's not life and death issue. We have a different pulpit me I climb up on.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And we have a different congregation. So you have to establish those things on Jump Street. And people also have to respect the fact that you now have a family. And I can tell you, So there are people but they ignore it. I am here, I see people calling my wife, and my wife I say, but me tell the man X, Y, and T. Even Sunday morning, Sunday when you're in a church, because of the nature of your business, people are called because them no go to church. So they might call you even when you're on the pulpit. You thank God so your phone they pass silent. What cause of people don't respect your boundary. So you have to keep your fence up, and every time somebody try to breach it, you make sure you go look and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yes, we are brethren, but understand. Because I have friend, I have man friend. And my wife said, boy, this Spaniard call you so up, but I'm a real G. So me and him chit chat. Now the man wife is here. I don't hear from him more. That's okay, wife. They are though. We don't feel that way.
But what you're saying, Reverend Preku, is basically what I'm saying. I have no problem with friendship, right? But as I'm saying, if I am talking to somebody and while in the courting stage, you are not setting up the boundaries already, I am not going into marriage with you. Because the boundaries should start to be established from courting. I'm not saying cut them out. Because, as I said, that's what I do. I set boundaries. I don't wait for nobody to tell me. So you see once me have friends. I always say my friends that who know me, I mean know them. Just and me reason with them. So you see once if me a date, they know so me a date. You understand? So me have friends that say, boy Derek, me no bother call you when you reach certain hours now, because I know so me not go get you. Because I know you're on the phone with your smarty. Them know. Me not have to tell them say yo don't call me. Them know. Because at the end of the day, to that bro or to that sis, yo, you're my friend. We are not nothing more than friend. Right? So the person who come now that is to me than more than friend, you can't expect me to go put you above that person. You're supposed to know your place. You are in a level of friendship. This is why. More closer, more personal. Don't make you have to get to a place where me have to go put you in your place. Because if you are going to call me certain hours, that means you don't respect my wife. Then you are not my friend. That's what we are saying. If you respect the woman that I married, you know so what you do wrong. So you shouldn't even do it. So once you do that, that tell me say there is no respect for the person I choose to call wife. Because you shouldn't be calling me those hours because you know, I just say Reverend Peku, I am preaching my sermon, bro. I am in fellowship at these hours. Why the hell you are calling me? And it's not an emergency. Come on. Respect the person I choose and call my wife, man. Understand that. And if it ever get to a place while in courting, we realize that is what you are doing, and obviously that person don't, there is no respect. So guess what? Me just stop here, so. Because I am not going to get in no form of conversation with you because I am going to set it already. You don't have to come to me and talk to me about any of my friends. I guarantee you that. Them know them place already. So if me have to come to you and talk to you about a friend, nah, me not do that. I am leading by example. Follow the instruction. Follow the example.
Derek, watch this. Okay, you're quoting the person. You're quoting the person, okay? And you say
remove quoting, engage. We are now getting married.
Okay,
yeah, engage.
Okay. You engage the person. Right? And you okay, you and your bestie, you establish the boundary, okay? And they have, but you say in the dating process, okay, the boundaries should be established. But then when you get off the phone, how you know she don't call the bestie and say 2 o'clock in the morning and says, ooh, girl, I really, that boy Derek is, boy, you know what I mean? Oh, I love him so much, man. We had such a good You don't know if the bestie called or she called the bestie after the conversation. So how you know the boundaries established?
Just
so
that the person is asking.
Listen now. All right, I'm saying, and this to me is where it becomes dangerous because this is how me stay. Anything I am not going to do when you're in my presence, I'm not going to do it when you're not in my presence.
But see, that's
my
Derek,
respect.
You don't know that. You don't know.
No,
that.
that's why I know. I love you say that because now this is why sometimes when a man and a woman get married, problem come in. You know, because I am saying if I'm looking to get into a serious relationship, right? that means I have to start putting things in place already like we are married. So even though we are not married, I start put things in place because that is what I'm looking to do.
Right,
So
right.
if I'm not, but I'm saying no, it's love is a choice. So that was it. So if I love this woman, I mean, no, say, listen, at certain hours because we get serious now. Not because you're not living with me, say, I go up on the phone with my bestie 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You understand? No, what I'm saying now, from a godly standpoint, if I truly even fear God and I understand what this thing is about, if I am doing that, there's no respect to the person I'm with, and there's no respect to myself as a man of God, a servant of God. Because in no way at all, being on the phone with anybody 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is appropriate. Or when you're single.
But the girl might just want to say, "Ooh, Derek, I love him." You know what I mean? Out of just excitement. I don't know. Go ahead, finish right. Go ahead, finish right. Go ahead.
Pastor G is embarrassed, Derek. So it's so embarrassing.
No, listen. There is. Let me hear something. Sir Jackson. Yes, Sir Jackson.
Okay. Do you believe that you can say one thing, and that one thing maybe two different ways with two different meanings, but it's the same thing you say? Sometimes you know, women. Okay, let me break it down because maybe I'm confusing it myself. Women are emotional beings. We have to think before we talk to them, right? And maybe if you go to your wife and said, "Honey, let's have a conversation about this phone thing." I notice it's going 3 nights now, and you're on the phone 11 o'clock. Let's have a conversation, and we have a decent conversation about it. You know, more than likely the next night she will not do it. But I could go to her and say, "I'm the man of yours." I say, "You know, so I don't want you to on the phone 11 o'clock at night, though. Let me happen again. You know what's gonna happen tomorrow night? She's gonna be on the phone, you know." You understand? So sometimes it's we come across,
Sir Jackson.
to our partner.
No, in that sense, we not say that because as we say, I am not in the sense. We not do anything in a disrespectful way. Don't get me wrong. Not
But
saying anything to say no bad up and me and the man of the house. And no. I miss respect to respect. We talk to you respectfully, you talk to me respectfully.
But the boundaries that I'm hearing, is it your boundary or it both of you boundaries? The boundaries that you're talking about. Because I hear you keep saying that I set boundary. Is it your boundary or both of you come together and set the boundaries?
No, because I expect in any relationship before quoting, both parties are gonna have boundaries before even quoting because my life. Yeah, because I'm saying being single, fine, single. There are boundaries on me said. Presently not living with a wife. I am not on the phone certain hours presently right now. I will never call anybody at certain hours. I'm a single father. Me no need to depend on the phone after certain hours. You understand? That I even know. There is not a wife with me now. I am not calling nobody after certain hours. That's me right now. I don't have a wife here. So that is something I practiced before even getting married. You understand? So I am saying, I believe that when you are single, boundaries cannot be set when you are single. How easy you think it are going to set when you're married? Just being adults. I'm saying being adults. I'm saying no, you are just being an adult. I should know that being on the phone with anybody after certain hours is inappropriate. As a man, as an adult, me supposed to know that. Me no need a wife before me start practice that. Why will I call a female friend after a certain hour? As a man, come on, that's common sense to me as a man. We talk and listen. If we talk up until 10 o'clock, all right, good night, me I go to my bed. I mean, come on, if I have an interest in you, then fine. Because listen, anybody me there on the phone with after hours, I want her. Me I tell you, me not call no man after hours. And no man no call me after hours unless I emergency. Don't call me, brother. You're not my woman. Do not call me after hours. You're not my woman. Me not call a man after hours. So there is no way is a man me I go talk to 1, 2 o'clock a morning. That is not a man on the phone. I am saying, listen, I just common sense, and anybody there on the phone here, so with common sense, no stand of foolishness me attack. So don't pretend like you don't get to me attack.
No,
Any woman me a call 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock a morning, I want you.
No,
so any woman there says me a call, I want you.
All right.
Reality attack.
All right, slow down.
Want you.
Well, we having a discussion, right? And
yeah, and Mr. Jackson, as a man when it in the street, you know some me when me attack. You must know me attack.
But Derek, you have to give him a chance to answer. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, give answer, man. Me don't say that getting across. Don't give answer.
Pastor G, most of my time I get ready to answer, I forget even what I was gonna say. I'm getting very emotional. Right? But Derek,
I just want me a phone still.
Derek, he answer yet, man. Let him answer. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, well, all right. Let's put it this way, Derek. That I'm a reason because maybe we're helping somebody tonight. Maybe not you, but helping somebody. But let's say, okay, you're married. You're married, right? And you come in and your wife, well, you think you established the boundary, but you come in and your wife on the phone. You come in the room and she's on the phone, maybe after hours. How would you deal with it?
How may I deal with it?
Yeah.
This is me. I will, while dating, me tell you what me like and what me don't like.
No. We're past it.
Yeah, man. No, me I tell you how me I deal with it. Yeah, me I tell you how me I deal with it. So while me I go tell you what me like and don't like. If after me say this to you, if you say, listen, I don't like X, right? And me don't point out that to you because we have good reason. Me tell you everything. And you know, say, me tell you I don't like X. So if me tell you, say, if I'm emergency, fine. If me come in, can see you on the phone after hours, then that means it must be an emergency because we don't establish that already. After certain hours, only emergency. Now, if I come in, if me realize it's not an emergency, I not say nothing to you because you're an adult. You're not a child. You're an adult. And it's respect. If you say something to me to say, Derek, I do not like this. Right? If I love and respect you as my wife, make sure you know, say, me I stick to that. You don't have to tell me again. If it is that, babes, you tell me, babes, Derek, after 10 o'clock, I really don't like you on the phone with nobody at all. Don't believe, say, you're coming, come see me and talk to nobody. Or when you're not in the house. I practice that after 10 minutes, I take the call. Even if she's not in the house with me. So the mere fact that me come in and me see what do it, and it's not an emergency, this man is not saying anything to you.
So hold on.
Because then you show me straight up that you do not respect what we have established.
How are we going to solve the problem? You come in your house. Hold on. You come in your house as a man in the house. You realize that the boundaries that we set, you've gone over the boundary, but you're not going to say nothing. Or you're going
if the boundaries, because listen now, if the boundaries to me are not being respected, then it'll tell me other things. One, you no longer respect this relationship. That's the way I tell you. You no longer respect the relationship. So one, you do it one night, you do it 2 nights, you do it 3 nights. I am one man for no. So you see before we reach to a level where we probably start get taxed and argue, I exit.
No, but let me tell you how I would deal with it. I hear how you would deal with it.
Yeah, man, me remove myself.
All right.
That's we're not gonna fight.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I will not remove myself. Hold on. Let me tell you how I deal with it. Because all right, I might sit with my wife and we might, set some boundaries. And I come in and I hear her on the phone the first night. I might not say nothing the first night. I might give you a slide. But the second night, I'm gonna say, we're gonna have a discussion. We're gonna have a conversation about it. Right? Now, if she continue, hold on, if she continue now, then it's just simple telling me that she have no respect for this relationship in this field. Because we already set the boundaries. We spoke about it after, but you still continue to do it. Because this is your bestie. You're telling me that you rather that bestie than me. So now
Mm-hmm.
we have to, better get some counseling and whatever. But this look like we're on the way out, because if you decide you're not gonna stop talking to that Betsy after hours, you make a choice. You already made a choice.
Well,
But
that's what.
I'm not gonna say nothing because I didn't
No,
set the boundary
Joe
already.
Jackson,
Uh-huh.
you know this thing because we realize we take on adulthood only when it benefits us sometimes. I don't want you to tell me what to do because I am an adult. We take on that. So why is it we can be adults when we can do this? And I am my own person. You're not supposed to tell me how to carry myself, da 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 da. But you can't be an adult and to know, say, boy, we set boundaries to respect it. Why is it me have to come talk to you about that? But in other things, you
You
can be
see,
an adult. When
you
it
see,
comes down to the things that benefit you, because listen now, if you are employed, the same wife that say we set a boundary and say after 10 o'clock no phone call, but you break that. But you are working, and because you want your job, your boss say, listen, make sure you reach work before 10 every morning. You are going to respect your boss and make sure you reach, even if it's reach 15 minutes before work. You are going to ensure that you reach 15 minutes every day before work because you respect your boss. You don't want to lose your work. But you can't respect the boundaries that your
let,
husband said.
let,
Your husband
let
have
me
to
say,
come talk to you
uh,
about that. But your
hold
boss
on,
don't
Derek.
have to come back to tell us to reach 15 minutes before work.
Hold on, Derek. And I'm not gonna look at it and say whether it's respect or not. I look at it. One time my friend said to me, he said, Jacko, I mean, you don't understand what's going on because you don't smoke, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand what's going on because you don't drink. And he will tell
Mm-hmm.
you he want to stop drinking a million times, but the urge just come back at him. No, your wife, hold on.
No, me not talk, man.
Your
Me
wife
listen, me
not
I
be
make
by
sure me hear
herself.
you, man.
Hold
Me
on,
not
I'm
talk.
getting back to your wife. I'm getting back to the wife now. Your
Oh, me
wife,
not. Yeah.
when I say your wife in a general sense, not Derek wife. Your
Mm-hmm.
wife might be her only comfort for 10 years is her phone. And she coming from work 10 o'clock and that's the time she go on the phone. No, a case like that, you have to give her a little time, but you're gonna be firm. But give her a little time and make sure take time, put it down. To take time, put it down. It's not a case, it's just that boy, she's addicted to it. So I'm not gonna look and say we set the boundary, and you never follow. Maybe she agree, but she don't know when she gonna pick up that phone and say, "Make me call son because of that me used to." So you
All
give
right,
her a
Benny.
little time and work with her and go over it again and show her the importance and why she have to
All
put
right.
it on. Give her a little, work with her a little. You
All
can't
right.
just
So
come
maybe
here and say, "Nah, nah,
maybe
but
tone
that
it down too
again."
because I realize so when we get excited, we get down. So
Emotional,
me
yeah.
tone it down
So
and say
let me
patiently.
okay, yeah. So let me see if I can make a suggestion then. Okay, let's see this. Okay. I'm
Uh-huh.
in I'm in my office and I'm studying or I'm here in the studio, I'm doing something, and the wife is over there in the room, right? Okay. And she on the phone with her bestie. They're talking. I'm over here doing something. All right. Because I don't see nothing so big about it, even with the bone. She talking to her friend. They talking. I'm here. I come in the room. She said, "Okay, my husband is here, so we getting ready to go to bed. Good night. See you tomorrow, or see you whenever, or whatever it is. Good night." How come that can't be established? You know what I mean? How come that? Because guess what? You might be watching TV doing something, but then because you have your boundary, no phone call from no bestie after 10 o'clock. So now she over there in the bed by herself, bored and lonely and everything, and you over there doing your thing or something else or something along there. You know what I mean? There's many scenarios here that I think that can be worked out to make things even better because they may be talking and laughing and everything along the line. So, but once the rule is this, okay, baby, when I walk to the bedroom door, you know what I mean? Guess what? Okay, it's me and your time now, so everybody's over. Good night. Don't nobody call me. Vice versa, same thing. Come in the room. Hey, see you. Goodbye. Wifey just walk to the door. She just adorn herself and everything along the line. So bye. Don't dial my number. In fact, what I mean? Let me turn my
Well,
phone off and go to bed or something. There's other ways
well,
that this thing can be worked out instead of it looking like, what I mean, well, I established the boundary established, or in courting days, the boundary, or in dating days, this is the boundaries, and this and this and this and that. I won't guarantee you this. In the dating days, that boundaries is not going to be established because that girl don't want to, or that guy don't want to say, you see this person here that I'm dating, I'm telling you, this is the one God sent for me. I know I can feel it. So, I think this, what I mean? Because the excitement is there, and they've been sharing with their besties forever. And so they want to share that part of their life with their besties as well.
All
Pastor
right.
G.
So
You see,
Pastor
my
G.
my
Hold on
my
there.
okay,
Before
okay.
you, I don't know you. Pastor G, I have a friend. I was the best man at
Mm,
the wedding,
yeah.
right? And
Mm,
I asked him, I said, give me some reason why you want to marry this girl. You
mm,
know, one of the reasons, Reverend Peku and DJ Apache,
mm,
is because, she don't question him.
mm,
He can go when he want, he can come when he
mm,
want, and whatever. And he said, this is the woman I've been looking for, Jacko, from the day I was born. And you know what happened? He
mm.
called me the next day. He said, I said, I mean, you're tired. Him come from wedding and everything, changed the bush. He said, where you going?
Ah,
Different thing now. No, the boundary move. I said, where you going? Well, she can't, I know he can't believe. He never heard that before.
right.
See, a
Yeah,
woman, she's
yeah.
a married man now.
You dated me after action, but now I married you. Where you going?
The
But
boundary move.
you know, to what Pastor G said, he's so true. Where you don't have to think of it as a being disrespectful to you. You understand?
Right. Yeah.
You work it out nicely,
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
guess. All right, go on,
huh?
Apache.
It don't have to reach that level of being you're not being you're being disrespectful to me. And that is the anger level we always turn to.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
level we do. You understand? Instead of we just look at it at a different angle. Like what Pastor G just broke it down and said to us.
All right. Remember what was in discuss now, because this thing become about the phone after hours. No. Now I say that everybody thing is different. So now I say it has to be the phone. I'm saying this is it. The thing that we are talking about is boundaries. So even outside of phone, we just use the phone as an example. So I use that. I am saying if boundaries are set in a relationship, then they are set for a reason. Once you overstep the boundary, that show a lack of respect. That's why you overstep the boundary.
But let me ask you a
That's what I'm
question.
saying.
I'm curious. Why you think you have to be setting boundaries in your relationship?
What? Why?
Yeah,
Because even when it comes down to your personal, no, because even when it comes down to your personal life, you have to have boundaries even for your personal life.
I'm
So if
thinking
your
about my
personal life
relation.
have
I- I'm
boundaries, the
I'm thinking about
relationship
my
has to have boundaries too.
listen. I'm thinking about my relationship, and I'm trying to figure out a boundary that I set.
That you said, eh?
Yeah, and I don't have a boundary that I set.
No.
She set boundary for herself. What she said, okay, I don't need this no more. I don't need to do it. I'm not setting boundary. If there's a boundary set, I set a boundary for myself.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That though and she gonna notice it, and I will notice. She said, "Man, you used to do that, and all of a sudden, you don't." Because my wife is this. My wife is like this. Here's my wife. She like her space, and she
Mm-hmm.
like to give me my space. Okay, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you understand? You understand? Every night, I'm gonna tell you guys this. Every night, me and my wife have a fight. You know what's the fight? Me a cowboy junkie. We can watch John Wayne 24/7. And
sure.
and
So
and 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 here's the rule. Here's the one rule that we have. Who get to the bed first get the remote. You know what I mean? But you know
all
what I
right.
mean?
So
But you know
so
what?
what I'm getting
I
from
don't have a
Eric,
boundary to tell her, hey, this is the boundary, and this is this. If
Eric,
listen, let me put it this way. If you love your wife right, she gonna honor you. As the
Yep.
Bible uses it, respect you. Okay? And what every man wants in his life, what every man wants in his life is respect.
There is respect, yeah.
Is
so
brother
respect.
isn't
Eric,
it all right? Yes, sir, Jackson.
How do you get respect? Then buy Reverend Pico book, and you'll learn how to get respect. When you love her right, they not thing in the world she won't do for you. You don't have to set nothing. She'll set the clock. She'll set the alarm clock. You know what I mean?
All right.
She do everything. That's all you
Yeah,
have
man,
to
coming
do.
to you,
is,
Sir Jackson. Just
is,
waiting on
is
Pastor
love
G.
her. Yeah, it's just love her sacrificially, and then all these worries I think that's going on, and all these concerns, whether it be TV, whether it be phone, whether it be this, whether it be boundaries in general. You don't have to do that, because sooner or later you may find this, and guess what? It may be happening and you're not noticing. The relationship might become a dictatable relationship, and you're not even
Toxic.
noticing a toxic. You're not even noticing it, because the woman or you or the person might feel as though my freedom is being robbed. You know what I mean? Let them make the changes themselves. Let them make the changes. I am not here to micromanage you. I am here to love you from head to toe. You understand? And when me done loving you, you're going to call me Jesus. Right, Beverly?
All right.
But
Yes, Sir Jackson. Oh,
Pastor
Sir
G, hold
Jackson.
on.
Sir
Andrew
Jackson.
in the chat, he said he want to ask Pastor G a question.
Yeah, man, you can go ahead and type the question.
I'm
Well,
waiting for him
so,
to type the question.
Sir Jackson wanted to say something. So, type it
Okay.
here.
I think we're talking about men tonight. And I think one of the greatest enemies ourselves, Sometimes we say our wife, whatever, is the enemy, but the greatest enemy that you have, it could be yourself. Now, we're talking about boundaries, and I do agree with boundaries and so forth. But you see, when you work on yourself, I couldn't understand this, Pastor G. If I'm going to the corner store, my wife want me to, even she's sleeping, wake her up and I just go to the corner store and come back. I realize it's a problem. So you know what I do? I wake you up until I'm going to the corner store. I think even up to today, I think it's stupidness. I'm just running to the corner store. I'm not going downtown. I'm just going right up there, walking. And I have to tell you that I'm going. And she want that, and I do that. But look, if you work on you, right? If I'm in the city, my wife would want me to call her like 12 o'clock, exactly where I'm at, and this everything all right, and so forth. After a while, you try. I'm not saying that I get it, but I'm doing much better now, right? So I'm doing much better. If certain time come and I don't reach in, I know that I'm supposed to call and said, well, I stuck with Reverend Peku tonight for another 15 minutes and so forth. So when I work on myself, guess what she's gonna do? She's
Working
gonna
on
fall in
herself.
line. So I don't have to write this and say, no, this for me, this for you, this for me. When you do the right thing, you're gonna tell me you're gonna run your house and I'm doing the right thing, the godly way. And then she said, I call it 7 o'clock that I'm running late. Because I come in 6 o'clock and it's 7 o'clock and I call and I'm running late. But when you run late, you don't call me, she's gonna fall in line, Brother Derek. So I don't think we should stick so
Hold
much
on.
on.
Hold on. And you see Sergeant Jackson right there is her level of compassion for you, You understand? And you have to give her that respect on that level. And it's not have nothing to do with trust there, It doesn't have nothing to do with trust. She's just really concerned that you'll be safe. Are you okay?
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's why I give her that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me answer. Let
come
me
in from
answer.
work.
Let me answer Andrew question. Andrew, I don't have to share with my wife my dislike and likes. If you married to me, okay, if we are married and you're not learning me over the years, and I'm not learning you over the years, why are we here? Why are we here? You know what I mean? If you're not learning me, if I have to sit up here and tell you everything about me, then that tells me you're not paying attention to me. You know what I mean?
So
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're not focusing on me. You down the road somewhere else. You understand? I shouldn't have to tell you my likes or your dislike. Now, if you're dating and you're quoting and the person will say, well, tell me what it is you like and you don't like. That's because you don't know me. But if you're in the house with me and you don't know me, guess what? You'll never know me again, like the song said.
Hold
And
on.
although you know each other,
I'm sorry
you
that I
spend time with
I
each
didn't know I
other
have to
to
go
know
back.
each
I
other.
didn't know I have to go back to this, Pastor G. But I want to go back
Yeah.
to. Let me say this before. because you see, sometimes when you micromanage,
Mm.
you think that you are knowing everything, and she start to pull back. When you find out exactly, because you try to control her, she's trying to pull back in her own way. And when you think so you get her this way, as soon as you slip, she get the phone and she call her friend. And they say you don't tell her what to do. Because
Yeah.
guess what? You're trying to rule her. And you're
Hmm.
trying to
All right. So,
micromanage.
Well
So we
on,
have to be
well on.
careful.
Andrew said
so
something to Pastor G. You
uh,
see, Pastor G.
indirectly, you what this
He said indirectly you are setting up boundary, Pastor G.
boundaries. Mm-hmm.
But if you want to call it, if you want to call it that, you can call it that. But then it's not something me tell. I could tell you something right now. My wife don't like. I like to crunch ice. I love to bite ice. Okay, my wife can't stand it, but it's a habit for me. So we can be there, and I can have a cup, and all of a sudden I start biting ice, and she look at me funny. I know she don't like it, but sometimes I just don't focus in on it. I just love biting ice, but she don't have to. And I asked her, why don't you like biting ice? I just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. You know what I mean? And something, I don't know. I guess it's something, the noise of it or whatever it is, or something like that. But the objective of a relationship, the key of a relationship, the excitement of a relationship is figuring each other out. Let me learn you, and let me is as Reverend Pico say, if you don't know the right spot them to touch, don't expect the light bulb to come on.
To light up, yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you don't know how to plug in, don't expect any kind of electricity. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Those are you see, marriage is this. When you approach marriage, first of all, on the outside of you be saying I do, you have to understand this. You are my lifetime partner. You is who God gave to me. We are going to have fun working out, better or for worse, richer or for poorer. We're gonna figure this thing out, whatever it is. There
To
ain't
the
gonna be no,
end.
yeah, to the end. There ain't gonna be no micromanagement, anything. And I know this, baby. Let me tell you what God said in Genesis. God made a man, and he put the man there, and he looked at the man, and he said it ain't good for the man to be alone. So he took from the man, and he made a woman. Okay, and brought the woman to the man, and the man looked at the woman. God never performed the ceremony. The man performed his own ceremony. He says, whoa, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, and for this cause the man shall leave, okay, his mother and father, and the two shall become one. Now here's the only thing what God said. God said, I'm going to make you a helpmate. Derek, without the right woman in your life, you are actually, I am, all of us is an actual incomplete man. The woman is designed to complete you, okay? To bring you into the depth of your purpose and your achievement for what it is you be. Track every man and woman in the Bible. Start with Abraham and Sarai. Okay? How God said,
Mm-hmm.
I got purpose for both of you. Okay? Okay. Just check Jacob and Leah and what's his other wife name. Check everybody, man and woman in the Bible together, and see how God worked purpose out into both of their lives all the way to. Because the woman is there to finish you, to complete you. It's like Paul saying in the book of Colossians, chapter 1, I think around verse 22 or 23. He says he is
Uh-huh.
suffering, but he's completed the suffering of Jesus Christ by his suffering. You know what I mean? That's a powerful statement. He said he is completing
Mm-hmm.
the suffering of Jesus Christ by him suffering. I realize when we suffer, we are completing the suffering of Jesus Christ. So when God made us, he didn't dump everything in us. He saved some for the woman to come in and to stroke you, to bring you to completion, to build you
All
up,
right.
okay, to
All right.
motivate you, you know what I mean,
All
to
right.
help you
So,
to go on to the next page. So if you have all of these things here, micromanagement, boundaries, all of this stuff like that, sometimes you're forgoing the purpose of God in the relationship,
all
and
right.
you
So,
trying to control it, and God can't work through that mess. Sometimes that we
when,
establish
all right.
ourselves.
I'm gonna just say this in like a minute or two.
Mm,
Right? When the whole thing, because it reached to
mm,
control and all of that, which
mm,
is
mm,
so let me go back to even Christ then.
mm,
Because whenever we realize whenever persons talk about boundaries or so, we always get control or so. So let's go to
mm,
Christ. We are in Christ because even Christ himself have boundaries. When following Christ, there is something called sin. And once you go into certain things, naturally, automatically you're going to sin. Talk about the garden. You put Adam and Eve in the garden and he said, eat of every tree except the one in the midst. That was a boundary. You can eat of everyone except that one. Right? So boundaries are even set by God himself. Righteousness is this, but sin is this. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not boundaries. In me, there are certain things you can, but once you overstep, you're automatically going to sin. So it shows that life has to come with boundaries, even outside of relationship. If I have a direction for my life, there is something I want to achieve. I have my goal, right? And I'm going towards that. This is it. If I have a vision of myself, I am pressing toward the mark of the higher calling on my life, right? I have something I want to accomplish. That means I know that my life cannot take in every and anything. I have to be careful of the type of person I associate with because either that person can build me up or tear me down. So I have to set boundaries even for my personal life because I want to make sure I achieve this before XYZ time. So life naturally come with boundaries. Salvation come with boundaries. Singleness come with boundaries. Hence why some people do the world thing of friends with benefit. There is no boundary to my single life. I can come and have fun with you because I have nobody. So let's just have fun and have sex while we're single. There is no boundary. If I am single, I'm single. I'm not going out having loose sex and say I'm single. There is no boundary. There is no. So I'm saying life itself comes with boundary. So I'm saying if I have a vision, let's talk about it. You want to accomplish something. That means you have a setting in your head as a man as to the type of woman you want. Because if you want to reach somewhere, you cannot join yourself to anybody because the woman will either lift you up or tear you down. So we talk about red flag. How are you going to identify a red flag to yourself if there is no boundary to your life? Then what is a red flag?
See,
The
understand what
red
it is I've been saying. Here's the thing.
right.
Here's the thing that you
That
understand.
no, I'm just bringing it across
Boundaries,
to say no,
but
this is
guess
it,
what?
you know. I am not
Boundaries
saying
in the
boundaries.
relationship. Boundaries in
No,
the relationship is not set by me. Boundaries in the relationship is set by us. She will set her
right. So
boundaries for what she want. I will set.
no,
So, but guess what? Boundaries is naturally set. It naturally comes into play
see,
based on love. See, this is something I think a lot of people don't
no,
understand because I see it in my wife. Naturally, boundaries naturally came into place. Okay, based on the love. I met somebody that I love, so I don't mean, listen, these things that I just want to spend time with the person. The minute you figure out this is who I want to spend time, you naturally set a boundary, not even thinking boundary. You can't go around
what?
thinking
So
boundary. This is the
it,
goal I want to
There.
reach. Naturally, a boundary come
yeah.
into place without thinking the word boundary. See, you don't have to think the word boundary. You know what I mean? People will see the boundaries as this. Boundary, look at boundary as this. Change. Look at it as change. Change occur.
Uh-huh.
Okay? And what people see is change. They don't see the word boundary. People say, man, I remember you used to go this and you used to do this. You know what I mean? And since you meet John, you don't go there no more. She said, yeah, I just want to spend time with John. So I don't go there anymore. See, boundaries is the word we use, and people don't think about it that way. It's change. You naturally begin to change for the things that your heart desire. I don't need
Mhm.
to tell you that this is what you have to do because if you know this is where you want to be, okay, you will make the adjustment in your life. I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to communicate that to you. When you begin to do those things, you are saying to me, I love you with all of my heart. I love you because I'm watching you giving yourself, giving things up for me. Okay, stopping doing what you like doing for me. If me I watch you do that and me I see that and people that see that and I don't I will be a fool Not to say, boy, this woman love me. I better learn to make some sacrifice. I don't have to go around these things. Not see, they when they naturally happen, they have a whole different flow to it. Instead of me talking, I need to set this boundary. We need to set that boundary. I need to do this. And no, they allow nature or natural things to take its natural course. Okay, that's the whole thing.
So
what
That's
I
to
was
me.
hold
saying
on,
there,
That's
we
what
do
it should be.
Hold
hold
on,
on.
brother
Let me
Derek.
somebody saying
oh,
Mm,
hold on there.
mm,
who was
You see,
yeah,
boundaries what someone consider to be acceptable behavior, right?
right,
And we try to show love while respecting
mm,
each other's boundary.
mm,
And
right,
as Pastor G said, you know, it's not something you really stonewall or cement together like when you're
mm,
putting up a wall. You understand?
mm.
It just automatically flowing.
Yeah.
But then you show the respect to that if it comes out the mouth or whatever. You have to show the respect there. But
Let us
as we
right.
going
But
along,
mm-hmm.
as we're going along, it's just flowing along to see how we're gonna respect and what we're gonna respect of each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
brother
All
it's
right.
Derek. Brother
it's
let
Derek,
us
let
it's,
me
it's
ask
sweet.
you.
Yeah.
Let me have a conversation.
Mm.
Do you think that breaking breaking the boundaries you can lead to divorce, or you can? All right, let me ask it this way: you think because I break the boundary, that's a reason for divorce?
If you break the boundary,
Yeah,
well, it all depends. It all depends.
and what?
Hmm?
And what?
It
Oh, we're talking about
it
the phone. You're talking about the phone, and she continue. She continue to be on the phone.
yeah, because
Is
all
that
right, from well, in biblically you don't we doing what the Bible says concerning divorce and what it go. I'm not saying everything has to lead to
you
that.
sure we know about
But
you sure
what am I saying is this? Because because we get the conversation go to the boundaries as we Apache discuss actually define what boundary is, right? And I for me, I am not thinking controlling. So when we hear when somebody mention boundaries, if I'm dating a woman and a woman say, listen, I'm going to give you my boundaries. I am not thinking controlling because that's not something I worry about. I am going to listen to the things that you like and you dislike and what you are looking for in a man. So if you are saying, for me, this is it, a woman look for me and say, listen, I really don't like a man that really go out and stay out late. The whole heap of party stuff. Those things are not my. She had because at the end of the day, let's do it. At the end of the day, she has an idea of where she wants to go and the type of relationship she's looking for. So now she's going to tell me what she's looking for, right? So if I don't fit that, then I'm going to do because at the end of the day, she's not going to tell me that, Derek. And the boundaries will be set from dating because me I hear where you are. So when we say it's set naturally, not really. While dating, we are learning each other. So naturally, if I'm paying attention, I'm listening to what you like and dislike. So we are talking about our boundaries from dating. So at the end of the day, if she tells me this, that listen, Derek, for me, I am not the party type of woman. I love when at night my husband is home with me. This is doing dating. She has tell me what is within her reach, what she loves. This is her boundary. Now, if from that and I'm looking to marry this woman and she said me this, and listen now, I am a man, me used to love go out and do my thing and me still to 11, 12 o'clock at night. But this woman I'm looking to marry say, honestly, I love when my husband is home with me at night. Tell me now, why is it? Because we are talking in a city, and I'm saying, listen, this is just like a 1, 2, 3 thing. I'm not talking about controlling. If I love this woman, right, and she's telling me all of this, I love when my husband is home with me at night. I really don't like a man that is on her phone certain hours a night. I love when I'm home and we can spend time at night. We use that to really spend time and fellowship and learn each other. She's telling me all of this while we are dating. And after all of that, I say, I love you, I'm going to marry you. Why am I going to come in now and say, give me time to adjust? And though I married this woman, and she tell me, listen, I don't want you to be out certain hours. When we get married, I'm going to be out till
The,
11 o'clock.
Derek, listen to this. Listen to this. Let me fix what you just said there for a minute. Let me fix it.
Right.
She did not tell you. She did not tell you. She did not tell Derek he can be out until 11 o'clock at night. She never said that according to your word. She said, I
She,
don't want to have, listen, no, let me finish what you said. Let me fix it. She said,
yeah.
I don't want to be with a man who is out late at night. That's what she
Right.
said. That's what
Right.
she said. If Derek
Mm-hmm.
loves this woman, if Derek cares for this woman, okay, and he wants to be in his life, he is going to naturally make that adjustment to change the behavior because he wants to honor his woman, that woman. He wants to love this woman. That is her. I want my husband to be at home with me. I want my
At
husband to
night.
spend time with me. I don't want him out in the street. So if you want to be with this woman, you will naturally make the change. You're gonna make, let me call it, the adjustment to accommodate what her heart's desire is for her life.
But
Mhm.
that, yeah, that's what
Don't
I,
call
but
it,
that's
don't,
but that's
don't call
basically
it a
what I'm saying.
boundary.
No, that's
Don't
what
call it
I'm
a
based.
boundary. Call it
No,
an
Pastor G,
adjustment.
that's that.
Yeah.
But I may say again, because when boundary sounds here, people keep hearing controlling, right? Because
Right.
he's just
Of course.
Apache, define again what boundary is. Redefine it again. And I want remove controlling from the mind for those who are thinking controlling and listen to the definition of boundary. Because everybody still keep hearing control when they hear boundary.
Well,
No,
that's
You
what
yeah,
it
and
understand?
sounds like.
I'm not talking
It sounds
control. I'm
like you
talking
want to
boundary.
control the person. You
No, I
understand?
am saying,
You know?
listen to what I said, and Pastor G just said, I'm dating this woman, and she said she don't love when her man is out. Her husband, the type of man she's looking to marry, is not one that will stay out late at night. I'm dating, getting to know her. She's sharing her dislikes and her likes, right? And I hear that, listen, one of it, she don't really like that. She like when at night she's home with her husband. All right? Yeah. I am a man who love me did love to stay out. So put it that way. Me a party animal. Me no mind to go out and party, but I hear this woman said it to me and I love this woman. As a pastor, you say I love this woman and I decide to make her my wife. Now, if that is the case, I'm going to remember the first thing. She wants a man that will be at home with her at night, not out partying and da 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 da, not staying out late, but coming home to her at night. Now, if I look, I understand naturally this is a boundary set, right? If no, she's only because at the end of the day, if she said that to me, I say, listen, well, baby girl, me as a man, me love my party life, so me can't promise you that. Do you think she is still going to allow me to marry her?
The answer is
Because
no.
I am
I
not
don't want her
respecting,
life.
and this is not what me I say, no, this is it. If when she share it and say this is the man I'm looking for, and after me hear everything, including that and plus other things she say, and me say, listen, well, honestly, me not think me that type of man, because me I tell you, me, me is a man, me love to do my thing and party and stuff, and me start break. Common sense, I go tell you, say this woman, I go say, listen, you are not the one. You are
Brother,
not the one because honestly, you are not within what she's looking for. So yes, boundary. I am not saying if she said that she's trying to control me. Again, everybody have in their head and what they are looking for, what they are trying to accomplish out of their life. Now the thing about it, if you don't fit in it, and this is where problem come in because you say, all right, we can do it, but when they get married now, the things start to happen and it will start irritate you because guess what? It is not something that you like. And that's when marriage start to have problems. Now the truth is,
brother,
if that man like to stay out late and he meet another woman who want to stay out late, there's no boundary problem there. It's all not the same thing. Now, if this woman married to another woman that like to stay home and she have a man that are the same thing, this man not really like go out at night. When I come in love him here, that woman won't have a problem. Because I'm saying the both of you know what within the means of what you love. So the boundary is yes, I respect this and it's not a problem. But do not, we are not going to sit here tonight and make it look like if you don't like the thing and you're married to somebody that do the thing, it is going to affect you because naturally you do not like the thing.
I
And
don't think
that's within,
nobody's saying.
and that's
I
why
don't,
within the dating you establish the things that you like and the boundaries, and then you determine
Well,
if the two of you can match or
but
you can come to a compromise.
let me ask you this, brother Derek.
Isn't that what the dating phase is for? We
Let me
we
ask you.
come to learn each other.
Let me
So
ask you, because I don't think we are saying that. Well, let me know. Let me go another way.
hold on a sec.
Uh, oh, I thought somebody was talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Apache was
Derek
saying something.
wanted.
Oh,
It,
go ahead, Apache.
The
so
definition, yeah.
boundary is the limit of what he or she considered acceptable behavior, right?
Right?
Try to show love respecting each other boundaries.
So the key words there, acceptable behavior,
Hmm.
not controlling behavior. Acceptable behavior. So that's what I'm saying. The thing that you find acceptable, right? If the person you listen, this is what I find acceptable. If this is not okay with you, then it's all right. We can part ways. But I'm telling you, this is what I find acceptable. You tell me right there, this is what I also find acceptable. And then we talk and we come to a compromise. So that's what I'm saying. I see people saying controlling. This is nothing
Br-
to do with controlling
Brother
because
Derek.
you
I
have,
don't think
as
I
we
don't think
say,
nobody was saying I don't think nobody was saying controlling because I don't see
no,
nobody
Right.
use the
Nobody
word
said that.
controlling.
Yeah,
I
Brother
don't think
Derek.
nobody used the word
no.
controlling.
The term controlling did come up at some point.
All
All right,
To
right.
let me
say
Then.
ask.
you are, it's like you are trying to control the person. And I'm saying boundaries because outside of your relationship, your workplace have boundaries, your
Uh,
friendship have boundaries. A man that is without boundaries is a man that is set up to fail. If you don't have no boundary for your life, if you don't have anything,
But
then you are
but
going to
but
fail
but
because anybody can come and do
Derek,
anything.
Brother
but
Derek.
Derek, again,
You
again,
keep saying
boundaries is
about.
a natural boundaries is a natural thing. Boundaries is an order of things. Watch this. God, yes, God have boundaries. He gave the sea a boundary. He told the sea, you go so far, you go back.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm-hmm,
The sea have a boundary. Okay? Everything has a
mm-hmm.
boundary. But boundary is a natural order of things. Naturally, everybody in their life is always setting boundary, but they're not focusing on the word boundary. It's something that happens naturally that brings about a transformation in you or change of thinking in you. Okay, that's it. That's it. Because if you're going around talking about I have to set boundary, I have to set boundary, I have to set boundary, you drive yourself crazy and you drive somebody thing.
No, listen.
These things
Wait.
just happen. Just
No,
allow it
I'm
to
saying
happen naturally.
no. So, the touch
Mm,
by angel says something. And she says, "Set
mm.
your boundaries," and she set hers. And
No.
I'm saying that is it because you're going to come with it already. So I'm not saying you're going to sit and tell the person, "Listen, me know why." I am saying if you're going to talk about marriage, you're going to discuss it in law. So it's not demanding.
Brother
I am
Derek.
saying if you will, so remove that boundary come naturally in the garden. God tell the man, eat of every tree except the one in the midst. He communicated the thing.
But
So
listen,
how is
But,
it?
listen. You
And we
call that
can take it from
boundary,
there, sir. Hmm?
but
Brother
watch
Derek.
this. You call that boundary. I call that an act of obedience.
Right. Yes. Right. That's not boundary. It has nothing to do with
You call
boundary.
it boundary.
But
I call it an
Derek.
act of
No, in the
obedience.
Brother
man.
Derek.
No, again,
No,
I'm
Yeah.
saying for the man, it's an act of obedience. When God saying it to the man, what will you call that? He said it
okay,
to the
watch
man,
this.
eat of
Watch
every
this,
tree
Derek.
except the one in the
Derek,
midst. Yeah.
okay, Derek, watch this. Watch this. If I put down $10 on the table and I said, Derek, do not touch it. Okay, okay. Is that a boundary or is it actually you to obey what I say to you and not touch it? It's an act of obedience. Don't touch that. It's not a
Huh?
boundary. It's an act of obedience. It's to show that guess what? That guess what? You are willing. You are willing.
To
You are
be
willing
obedient.
to be
No,
obedient to what I asked you to say. It's an act of obedience. Is
listen,
different than boundaries. It's different
God,
than
Brother,
get
boundaries.
what I'm saying,
Brother
but
Derek.
let's put, I was talking about, remember, get
Hold
what
on.
I say. We
Go
are
ahead,
talking about
Sam. Let's
relationship,
answer
right?
something. Hold on.
God and the man, God and the man was in a relationship, right there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Eat of every tree except the one in the midst.
Uh,
Once you do that, once you obey what I said, the relationship is good. The day the man eat of the tree in the midst, what happened? The relationship got broken. Because this is it. In order to stay in union with this thing, there are things that I expect you to do, and there are things I expect you not to do. The day you start to do the things I don't expect you to do is the day the relationship is going to be in trouble. Just as God and man. The day you start to sin is the day the relationship between you and God is in trouble. So there are boundaries set. Once we stay within here, we have a relationship. Just like today, if a man start to go against the commandments of God, the relationship between we and God become affected because the
Okay.
boundary set
If-
is in the word. As
Okay,
long
if
as you
you
keep
want to
my
say that,
commandment,
okay, if you want to say that, watch this. Watch this. Okay, because you'll make me become a theologian all over again. Okay, God set the boundary. I'm gonna use your words. God set the boundary. The man ate it. The sin sake. Did God divorce the man?
if God divorced the man,
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah. That's what I said. I asked you a question. Did God divorce the man?
Yeah, the day they eat Adam and Eve eat of the tree, they get
No. I
evicted
asked
from the
the
garden.
question.
No,
I
Was it?
asked.
that's not a
The
question.
question I asked was, did God
If God
divorce the
divorced the
man?
man,
Yeah. Because
well, if
because he broke the boundary. Did God
Right.
divorce the
well,
man?
it well going
Did
back,
he?
if you put
Did
the
he
word,
or did he not?
if you put the word divorce, because this we're not talk about divorce, but put in this way, the relationship became, it wasn't what it was anymore. So the
No, no,
relationship
no,
become
Derek.
broken.
Who fixed the relationship?
Who fix it?
Yeah.
Basically, the bridge between man and God was set back by Jesus. So it affect even ours. So the
No.
relationship became broken.
In the garden, who fixed the broken relationship? Who fixed it?
It wasn't fixed in the garden. They were evicted from the garden.
No, it was fixed in the garden. Because
Huh?
God took a lamb, cover Adam, and actually reestablished relationship with him in the garden. It
Yeah.
was fixed in the
Re,
garden.
no, the relationship that was there before wasn't no more. That relationship was completely destroyed.
No. God
No,
fixed it in the garden.
no.
God fixed it in the garden.
I'm
He
saying
did.
what Adam had in the garden before sinning,
Hmm.
after he sinned, he didn't have that anymore.
God
The
fixed the
relationship
relationship.
No.
changed.
God fixed the relationship in the garden. You have to see that. If you don't see that, then you're missing the big
All right.
picture. Because
All right, we're
God
going
took
down
a sheep,
theologian road.
right. He covered Adam in order for him to communicate with Adam. The point is this: God did not throw away Adam. Yes, Adam lost privileges. He lost
Right.
privileges, but he
Right?
did not lose relationship and friendship. He lost privilege. But the
Privilege, right?
privilege he lost was the
Privilege.
garden. Okay, that's what he lost.
Right.
He lost the garden. So the
Mm-hmm.
big point of this whole thing is this: love covers a multitude of sin.
Again, all right. So
All right,
we
Brother
reached
Well,
Derek.
down to
Brother
well
Derek.
said,
the
Pastor
love
G.
part, which
Sergeant, Sarge, go ahead, now,
Go
Sarge.
ahead, Sarge. Go ahead, Sarge.
yeah.
Okay, 'cause I don't know which one to hit first. Because I'm looking at the question, Brother Derek. Fix and change. If there's a difference within them, we have to understand. Fix, right? I could fix something, but still there are changes to it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
fixed, right? But the point that I want to get back at is I want to stay with boundaries because sometimes the problem with our partners, we talk about boundaries. It's not really the boundary. So the
Mm-hmm.
question, Brother Derek, do you think because of your tone, um, the tone of which you set the boundaries with, it can turn your partner off to rebel?
Hmm.
Your
Yeah.
tone.
All right.
Of
Again,
course.
because let me say this and then me stop talk so we get to the right. I'm saying talking about what you like and dislike. I'm not talking about how you communicate it. I mean,
But do
for
you think
me,
how you
those things will again. What I'm
communicate
saying.
is
All
better?
right. Let me backtrack my thing and then we just
But
put
it
it there so,
does
so
play
you
a part
understand
in
where I'm at.
Derek.
I
How
am
you
saying the
communicate it.
things, the likes and the dislikes are things that will be addressed while dating, not after you get married. So while dating, you as the man will let the woman know what you are looking for, right? The woman is the same thing. She will tell the man what she's looking for. This is during the dating phase. So by that time, you can determine, I think I can work with this. And yes, it's where you can decide if you think you can live together, if you can actually get married. All right. So
No,
after coming into, if you decide to go through and get married, I'm not expecting for you to be having arguments about the likes and dislikes because already you would have discussed all of that before marriage.
I
Now I'm
think you missed,
saying if
I
what
think
was
you missed my
discussed before
question.
marriage, this is what I'm saying. if what was discussed before marriage when it comes down to like and dislike on both sides, one start to overstep those boundaries, then that become a problem because why? All of this was discussed before we get here. So none of this should be happening now because we already deal with all of that. So once it start to happen, then that tells me then that disrespect start to come in because if Mr. Jackson did actually say this, then why is Mrs. Jackson going to start doing this? No, we already talk about this and say this is what I don't like. So vice versa. So that is what I'm saying when I said to Bond, if what was discussed during the dating phase, persons start to overstep those things, for me, that's disrespect, and that eventually can lead to divorce. Because why? I already told you I don't like this, and you already told me you don't like this. So none of us should be getting to that place where we are overstepping what was discussed. That's all I'm saying.
You say a lot, but that's not the question I asked. The question, let's go again. The question I asked when me and my wife sit down to set some boundaries. I don't want the audience to hear that we are saying that boundaries are not important. I don't think we are saying. I don't think nobody's saying that.
No.
Right? But when we sit down to set the boundaries, do it in the tone, my voice, the tone of voice that I use to her can either build it or break it.
During the marriage?
No. With setting the boundaries.
That's
set boundaries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it is being discussed, as again, I'm saying for me, boundaries be set doing dating.
No, not boundaries.
Doing dating.
No.
I want to focus on tone. Your tone.
The way you say it, were you saying it angrily?
Yes,
or
aggressive
or softly.
You
You
know,
understand? That's
you
what
can
he's
say
asking.
the right.
So
thing,
Does it make a difference?
Yeah.
Yes, how you communicate make a big difference in everything. So as I'm saying, in communicating this, all of this will be for me personally, for my thing of setting these things and this like is doing dating. So the whole thing of how it is said, I guess during that time you can tell from the person to how you talk, your son this or that. So that will be a major part of even if the relationship go further. So I agree. So I'm not saying that. I mean, if we get past all of that, this is what I say, people. If we get past all of that, and this is what I'm saying, that we get into the marriage. If what was laid before coming into marriage, persons start to overstep those things, then for me it's disrespect. That is what I'm saying. What was laid from that time before marriage? If when I get married, you start to overstep those things, then of course it will be a problem. That's what I'm saying.
I think as Christians, and we're gonna allow Pastor Peku to come in after, but I think as Christians, I think as Christians, Brother Derek, I think we spend too much time tonight on the boundaries, because if we get it right, if we get it right from first, love covers everything. I respect you. We don't have to focus and spend 1 hour and no boundaries,
Right.
You understand? It's because we are doing it back way. Why we talking for 1 hour about just boundaries? Boundaries should not be a problem in Christians' relationship. We're not gonna say we're not gonna fall or we're not gonna slip and whatever. But when we go back to the Bible and said, okay, how would Christ deal with this? And we go back to the Bible and remind ourselves and catch it. If we need to apologize and move on, we do it and move on.
We do, yeah.
But the check mark that we're coming into a relationship with, remember, I give you 10 things to check off. And if boundaries is not a ground for divorce, if these boundaries is not a ground for divorce, we have to look for step 2.
Yeah.
We can't just say, listen, me gone, we can't get an next catty out there.
Right.
Because we can't talk about divorce because for these boundaries.
Listen,
I don't think anybody here reach the point where they say they might go divorce because
hold on. This is what Damien said. That's what you're gonna read, Pastor G.
who
Yeah.
love.
Damien, I'm going to read what it is. Damien Harris says, when
Uh-huh.
love is in the relationship, what we are calling boundaries become normal way of life.
Mm,
Mhm.
Uh,
mm.
That's what I've been saying all about. It's the
Right. I
no.
like
natural
that.
That's
thing.
all
It
we say.
happens normal. It happens normally. When
Mhm.
when when love is in the relationship, okay, what we are calling boundaries becomes a normal way of life. That's a powerful statement
Well,
because that's what
people.
I was saying. You know what I mean? You don't have to be looking about it naturally, it normally becomes a part of our life because we love each other.
All right.
And you know what boundaries is really is? If we really want to define boundaries, boundaries we just simply say is a neutral respect for each
Mhm.
other. I don't have to lay it out. I don't have to do that. It happens because of the key word is called love.
Brother,
It happens.
Brother
It
But
Derek.
happens.
I think but I think when Apache defined boundary, that was
Mm,
basically what was said. And
mm.
what he said here, I love what Damien said, right? Which is this: when love is in the relationship, what
That's
we
why it's
call
ready.
boundaries become I said a
Yeah.
normal way of life. I
That's the
agree.
passage
So
you've been
I'm
saying.
saying, and when this thing all started, it said when one start, it's supposed to be a normal way of life, right? So
Mhm.
Mhm.
what the whole thing start was this: when one start to overstep, is that love? That's basically where I come from now. When one start to overstep, what should be a normal way of life? When
And
love
Derek.
is in it. That's what I'm
And
saying.
Derek.
When love is in it. So if
And
it is being overstepped, is that love? That's all was being saying. So I'm saying
Okay.
if the two
But
already
Derek,
outline it, eh,
sometime
Derek,
Derek, sometimes we have to watch the words, and I keep going
yeah,
back to
yeah,
that.
yeah,
We have to
yeah,
watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
words
I
that we
think the
use.
words is
No,
dangerous. The words is
when
dangerous.
I go to my wife, I'm not gonna go to her and say you overstep the boundary. No, I could say the
no. All
same thing
right,
a
Sir
different
Jackson.
way. I
Sir
could say the
Jackson.
same thing. Go ahead.
Get what I'm saying? I am not saying, and this is what I keep hearing from night. All right. I am not saying you should go to your wife or Apache should go to his wife or Pastor G should go to his wife and say anything. I am that's not, and that's why I say you keep discussing it, and that's why from I talk from night, I'm saying I'm not
What? Okay.
personalizing anything.
Repeat. Repeat what you just said a
Boundary,
while ago about overstep the boundary.
right?
Repeat what
I'm
you just
saying
said.
love. So I'm saying if one start to overstep, what should be your way of life?
But I
Then
want
I'm
you to take
saying
out
that
the
now
word.
remove the thing from
I
hmm?
want you to take out, and trust me, it might help
Take out
you
what?
really take out the word overstep boundary. You could go to
No,
your wife and have a conversation.
no, I am not.
Hold
No,
on,
I
no.
did not say. I did not say boundary. I'm saying if
I
one
repeat
start
it
to
again.
overset what was said,
Repeat
right?
it again.
Yeah. If what both of you agree on,
Yeah.
right, to say this is the like and dislike for me, your wife said the same thing. This is the like and dislike for myself. If you start to overstep what you like, what your wife said that is my dislike, that you cannot anywhere put that to say you love your wife because she said, listen, this is what I will stand for, and this is what I will not stand for. Now, if once you love your wife and she said, this is what I stand for, then if you love her, you're going to stay within the means of what she says she stands for. If you
I'm,
overstep that, I'm saying then that becomes something different from love. Now, if you
and I
want to
don't
remove
agree,
the word
and I
boundary,
don't
fine, that's
agree.
true. Because when people hear boundary, we still are your control. And I'm saying
Yeah.
the likes and dislikes. If you
Hold on, brother
overstep
Derek.
it,
Okay,
Hold on,
that's
let
brother
it.
me
Derek.
ask. See,
Hold on, brother
this,
Derek.
this,
Because I still don't agree with you. Um,
And
when it come on to the overstep and whatever.
okay,
But let me ask you a question, and I'm going
all right.
somewhere. I'm not deviating. Um, do you think that when you go to a counselor, trained counselor, the counselor even watch your body language?
Yeah.
Yes.
And why you think that?
Well, me no know. Explain that
He
one.
can
Me no.
determine a lot of things just from your body language.
yeah,
Mm.
He can
yeah,
tell the type of
Okay.
person who you are in the
Yep.
house.
yeah,
He
yeah.
could tell if
Mm-hmm.
you're a
So
controller.
true.
Even could tell you if it's a
Mm-hmm.
beater by your
Hmm,
body
Okay.
language. So
hmm.
sometimes, um, okay, all right, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Pastor Peck. I don't think it's fair.
Somebody want to hear from Rev
Yeah, see
now.
me, I
Yeah,
want
go
to
on,
hear
Red.
from you.
Hmm.
Because, I say this our understanding of what the word boundary is confusing the whole issue here tonight.
Clearly, sir.
You know, because boundaries are critical in a relationship for several reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Heard Pastor G say it helps define each person's needs, expectation, limit, and create a foundation for healthy interaction. And I tell you why boundaries are essential. It maintains individuality. My wife can't be me, and I can't be me. So I am being who I am. You know, it allows both parties to maintain a self of self-worth within the relationship. So it's not one manipulating or controlling.
Right.
That means, as I hear Pastor G say, who first reached in the bed, it means that each person in the relationship, even though you're one, you can pursue your own interests, maintain friendship, and pursue and mature your personal growth. It also promotes mutual respect.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Foster an environment of mutual respect. Each partner acknowledges the need and limitation of each other. It also enhances communication. It prevents resentment.
Amen.
It ensures safety and comfort.
Yes.
There's a balance of power dynamics, so it's not me a dictate and me a control. You know,
Yeah.
the dependability and trust. It manages conflict and it supports emotional health. And I could go on and on.
Amen.
See boundary in a positive light.
Right.
Not manipulating, not dominating, not controlling, not restricting or retarding, but creating an atmosphere and an environment where both partners can grow and flourish while still remaining, keeping the unity and the bond in the relationship.
And I stand with what Reverend said. That's basically what I'm saying, nothing else.
But that's what I've been saying.
Basically, that's all I'm saying. But me, people hear something different. Not controlling. Because, for example, I remember when I was working on my album Life. Me and my producer was at it. If you follow the two, we were in a studio from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. No, to 6 a.m. again, rather. We'll be in the studio the entire day because him love music, we love music. We were at it because we want to get the album together. So we had a time. Guess what? It was starting to become consuming when it comes down to time. So guess what? It's why I say, listen, because if I follow you, you love music over here, so become your home. So I am setting studio time. Studio time is from X time to X time. So they make sure they reach between that time. Because if it's 5 p.m. a cut-off time, if you reach 4 o'clock, remember, you not go until 5. Because guess what? I need my husband after X time. That was the boundary, she said. Can I say the woman is being controlling? No.
But
she set a boundary because
she's not setting no boundary there.
Then what is it then?
She just making that
a request.
A request.
But, Apache, the lady literally said a lie. This is what I want. This is what I want. Right? This is what I want. Boundary don't mean controlling people. She set a boundary. This is what I want. No, go beyond 5 o'clock. It's okay. You want your man after 5 o'clock. That's okay. Take your husband after 5 o'clock.
All right, but listen.
It's just simple thing. And I'm saying it was said in respect and receive it. So guess what? Sometimes we don't finish and we look and we say, yo, 5 more minutes. We respect it and we understand it and it's healthy. It means nothing. If she's not being controlling, it's good. So I'm saying, this, I am amazed when people see these things and say, oh, but she's trying to control. What is wrong with you? What controlling? You have your relationship. You know what you want.
But listen.
Just follow through. There is no controlling. She just wants her husband after XY because if we follow
Reverend Pecco said it. Reverend Pecco took all of our stuff and he put it together. So no need
he put it together one thing and he ended it there. So now that we came to the end of another.
It's just an example I was stating and I'm saying where Reverend Pecco said.
Hold on, Derek.
Is all I've been saying.
Now that we came to another edition of Chill and Chat, don't forget Clap Praise Fest is coming up July 6th, okay? What's it called? Clap Praise Fest July 6th. Promoter is right there. Also, so tell people about
more details will come.
Praise.
Well, I will make another because we're give us some tickets tonight. But next week I will come with some updated information concerning Clap Races really.
But it's still happening July 6th, right?
July 6th.
So, Reverend Pastor and Sergeant Jackson, July 6th is the place to be in Jamaica for Clap Praise Fest. Once again, gentlemen, I really appreciate tonight. You understand? And we hope that the listeners are leaving here with something. You know, we didn't kind of throw them on the fence and take them out, you know, and throw them in the ear, you know. I hope they really got something from this tonight. So,
Well, for me, it was a good discussion. I hear Sir Jackson was saying about the body language article. Personally, as I say, controversial, sir. Me say things, and after me don't talk, me don't mind.
I didn't say Derek McFarlane.
yeah,
Right.
he just,
My thing to anybody a listener, straight out of fun. Me good. For me, yeah, boundaries important. Me believe in that. I believe. Personally, for me, boundaries important. Friendship, anything at all. I want to know what you stand for. I will stay within
it. Happens.
Right.
It's just like Reverend Peko said for it all. It's going to occur, and it brings about a neutral love and a neutral respect, like never before. You can create your relationship to an environment or cultivate. Let me use that word. I think it's a good word. You can cultivate your relationship.
Yeah.
To what you want it to be based on your thing, because you got to remember a relationship is this. It's two persons, two strangers, two different minds. You see, when you know what, you see, we like to look at this thing, and this is a whole subject for another discussion, but we need to understand when the Bible says the two shall become one, we tend to gravitate towards the sexual connotation of it, which it means that too. Okay, but the bigger challenge is easy for me and my wife to come together and become one. We have sex, but the bigger challenge of life, how you take two minds that's left and right and bring them into one bucket. To think that Jesus said this about the church: speak the same thing, say the same thing, be of the same mind, one mind. And the goal of a relationship and bringing a relationship together is to take two minds, two separate minds that God created uniquely, he powerfully, purposefully, has his own thing, and bring them together and make them one single mind.
and you said the word there, no, Pastor G, to cultivate. You understand?
To cultivate it.
And what we do when we cultivate,
everything happens naturally.
Yeah.
From God's perspective, God set the order. The order is going to flow. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Amen. So let's pray us out.
Before you pray, I want to thank Brother Derek for this forum tonight, and I think that we need more forum like this in the church. I'm really happy because I know that a lot of people might view it even after, and I'm just praying that one thing, they could pick one thing from it tonight that can uplift them, and I'm trusting that God might touch you, Brother Derek, so you could bring us back. It might be a little rough and hot. Might be a little rough and hot tonight, but I trust that we'll behave ourselves next time when we come back.
I promise to be. I promise to behave. I promise to behave too.
Yeah, we will.
But you know, I always say this about stuff like this. The people on the outside, the viewers in the chat room. We can just. Well, I got a whole free Zoom thing today. You bring them into the Zoom and they talk. We make this. You could make this a great workshop, conference thing, whatever. Because now they'll be speaking to, and you're hearing them. Because subject like this, matters like this, it's a great concern to everybody. Because everybody will have their opinion, had their views, had everything, and nobody's telling nobody that they is wrong. Everybody's looking at it from a different perspective. You know what I mean? And the moderator, the moderator, you know what I mean? Somebody has to take everybody's piece of everything I say and come up with a whole. You know what I mean? So you can make logical, conclusionable sense to everybody. You know what I mean?
Well,
So thank you
awesome.
guys for being here. I appreciate everybody. Audience, thank you for putting up with us. You know what I mean? And next time we're going to do our best to behave ourselves. We
Yeah.
Right.
promise.
Yeah, man. The
Brother
panel,
Derek.
hopefully, you're saying, Sir Jackson?
Oh, I was saying that I don't want you to think, but I really like this, and I'm looking
Me too.
forward to
Yeah.
copy something like
Yeah.
this on
My
my
sister said
program
she enjoyed
and
it. A
bring
lot
the
of
same
people.
panel over, even
I
with
have
it with
a
you, brother Derek.
copyright issues, sir. Copyright issues. It's
That's
still
why I'm
chill
begging.
and chat. Copyright issues, man. But no problem, because I was thinking about having a week, like we have the couples edition, have a week where we do this, because it's good. Because
Yeah.
I saw a few persons in the chat getting a bit heated, but understand, for me this is entertainment purpose. All right.
Right.
I just love me talk controversial, and it's done.
No, but
It's so I love what Pastor G said. Nobody's saying that this is what you have to do. Everybody entitled. You
As
understand? But
DJ
it's
Apache.
discussion.
the key for the discussion, is for somebody to get something out of it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Live by Truth and Pastor G on Monday, the discussion, to get something from it that we can apply to our daily lives. And this is
All right.
opening a different door here. What people are hiding are running from.
Mm-hmm.
Or what people are facing with, and that's the
Right.
big thing. What's the thing you're
Right.
facing
But
people
that's
with?
it.
You're helping people, but still they have to form. It makes everybody. To me, it makes everybody look into their own relationship.
Right. That's so true.
You know what I mean? And how's my relationship built, and how can I better it? What do I need to now throw away in from my relationship and sort of reestablish it a different? Is my bottom line is this: is your marriage pleasing? Is God getting glory from your marriage?
From a marriage.
Amen.
Amen, Pastor
That's
G.
that's the
Amen.
glory. Because Reverend Pico, when they have sex, him say hallelujah.
Yeah.
Let me get all the glory from it.
All right. Let's
No,
I
no,
love
no.
that brother. I
Just
love
one
it.
more
I love
thing
him teaching too,
before we
man.
go. I guess we don't want to go because no, tonight, I think Pastor Peku, I have to step out of my boundary because no, I get two names tonight. One is controversial, and the other one is Sergeant. So now my wife and I have to go fight now. Which one of these names we're gonna use? So
Yeah,
we're
go
gonna
on.
step out the boundary.
Parade, you'll be sergeant.
Sergeant Jackson. Sergeant Jackson. Sergeant.
All right, but I would definitely love to have you guys here. So we will talk, off here as to how we can go about having this, because I say I love it, and it's something that definitely we can learn from. You know what I'm saying? So
I did.
I
I
love it,
learned a lot.
because what was discussed here, believe it or not, these are things that couples do have issues with. Trust me. Even the whole thing of boundary, trust me, it's something that couples struggle with.
And they
So
don't know how to approach it.
I enjoy it. Yeah,
And they don't know
that's
how
it.
to
So
approach it.
I enjoy it, man.
All right.
So
Who's
thank
gonna
you
pray?
all. Yeah, man. Somebody pray out too. All right.
Let us pray.
Reverend, I can pick Apache. Praise
Once
out.
again, we say, Father, we say thank you for tonight. We thank you that you was part of this.
Yeah.
And we pray that you'll just pour into each and every heart that took part in this panel here tonight, dear Father. And, it wasn't about idle chat. It was fellowship with you in it.
Good word.
So when we come together and have fellowship like this, it's not idle talk. So we thank you, Father.
Lord, we pray.
Thank you for the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. And we pray that all who was in the chat from different area, from Facebook, YouTube, will get something from it. And as Derek said, they will apply this to their relationship. Continue to touch Pastor G, Reverend Paku, and Sergeant Jackson, Derek. Continue to pour in them, dear Father, as they pour back out into your people on a daily basis. We thank you for the platform that comes on each and every day to give us your word, to structure the word to us. So we thank you, Father. anyone has have to travel or go to their bed tonight, that you'll cover them and watch over them tonight. Cover them, my St. Croix family, my Tennessee family, my Jamaica family, my USA family, my Florida family, everyone that was here. We thank you, Lord, and we glorify you. No other name but your precious name, who is Jesus Christ. And we say amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
All right,
Amen.
so bless you and
Amen.
thank you again, gentlemen. It was an awesome night.
Shalom.
Thank you, guys. I got
Good
seven
night,
and a
guys.
half hours. I got
Enjoy
seven.
the talk.
Yeah. I got
Oh,
7.5 hours and I have to come
hold
and
on,
hear.
don't
So
forget.
good night.
Tomorrow we have PV and we have prayer Thursday. Lady
Yeah.
G is back, so she'll be on prayer Thursday tomorrow. Positive
Thank you.
vibration and highly favored Blake is on,
Yeah.
and Sir
Mhm.
Danville from the Jamaican Gospel Show. That's what's happening tomorrow Thursday. Okay,
All
All
so
right.
right.
make sure you support each other's